refuse.
Hello!
Hey, what's up?
Loud as hell. Who doesn't have their mic muted? Is that AJ?
I don't have my mic muted.
Are you echoing, AJ?
Here, I'll
Give a little scoop.
No one does have this. Oh. AJ, why is your video cutting out like that?
I keep restarting things on accident because I keep trying to do stuff.
Well, man.
Focus pursuit. Yeah, I can focus you guys, but I can't really, like... Okay, that's close enough. I like how I can see, you know, a nice monitor of myself.
Okay, yeah, you can. Stream won't be able to.
I've got a plug right here, if you want.
Yeah, you want to plug me in?
Yeah.
Alright, guys.
You're walking and shit's silent.
Whoa!
I like
Yeah,
how
we got
the
AJ.
moment is represented by roughly 4 pixels.
This is cool.
Yeah, we've been playing with this all week.
Yeah, that's virtual DM.
Sorry, AJ.
It's like he's really here.
It's like I'm really here. What's up, guys?
Yeah.
How you doing?
That's really cool.
Alright.
But I didn't think about this. Stream wanted to be... I wanted to do monitor over here,
I know.
and then stream
Like
so that it looks like we're talking to you from the stream.
Yeah. Sweet.
But now it looks like we're talking to you,
From the
Which is
side.
fine on stream.
Yeah.
which is fine on
Which, I
stream.
mean, sort of. It looks like you're talking to, like, my stomach. From the angle.
No, Daddy wasn't even looking at the stream, and he was walking, but he had us open, and then you just yell, "Hello!"
It's classic.
Classic Knoll Daddy.
Oh, dude. We have an old daddy already?
Old Daddy already. So, we got 4 people. We got an AJ. He can't hear us. He can't hear AJ.
Shit.
Give him a head.
Okay,
Give him an
here.
earbud. You
You
guys
can-
gotta split earbuds.
It's gonna be a little bad,
Buds.
Zack.
Right.
It's gonna be a little bad. I'll try to...
This is so we don't.
Should I go get my headphones?
The thing is, you would also have to have a Discord account and add Norman and join the call.
Okay, so this is cool.
Yeah.
Is this gonna be okay?
If this isn't okay, like, I mean,
We'll
for
do
me,
it.
it's fine.
If it's not okay, we'll do it. Right?
Yeah, but...
Okay. So.
Classic sharing some earbuds.
Okay, maybe that's a little too loud. Okay. So what's up, guys?
People.
What's up, stream?
So stream can hear him?
So,
Yeah.
Hopefully they can hear him.
I think you guys are maybe officially, I don't know, whatever. How you are.
Alright,
Alright,
no one
I
talk, no one talk, no one talk. Don't talk.
Okay. Yeah.
You can hear AJ. Is he good?
He's fine.
Can you guys hear AJ? You can talk now, AJ.
Please talk. Please clap.
Nah, dude. I mean, I
Alright, so here's the thing.
What the hell?
Today-
What bookmark's that, Josh?
Chicken tikka masala?
No. Where'd the stream OBS?
Oh. I don't know. Did you not bookmark it? No, you did.
No.
No, that's it.
Okay.
There we go. All right.
Yeah, that's actually.
We got there.
Okay.
Alright, guys. So, what's most important is that you guys all have some sort of paper and also access to the document I provided you earlier. I can link it again for your convenience. We'll explain the rules.
Yeah.
In chat. So that people can see the game I'm running.
Hang on a second. I read the whole thing.
Noel Daddy says AJ's a little quiet.
AJ is a little quiet. That's what I thought.
Stop. Can you guys hear me? I'm speaking directly into the
No,
mic.
you're fine. It's just on stream, you're quiet.
Oh, okay.
Stream's making
Yeah.
you quiet.
Can't speak too much louder than this volume.
Yeah, exactly. So we just have to turn you up. Turn up.
Go ahead and say something, AJ.
So, this is Austin Jacob Hill.
Get lit.
Here with the Freedom Squad.
Okay, so today we're going to be playing a new system, new campaign, and by this I mean all brand new, like never before seen, never before released anywhere. Still being made up as we go along.
No. This is so made up. Like, I
It's a
literally
system.
wrote the system yesterday. It was yesterday.
So, and it's continuing to develop as we're going along, which is kind of the point.
It is.
So, we can start off by saying AJ is our GM for this campaign. We have Norman, Josh, Zack, and Double L. Double Zoop.
Yeah, double zoop.
We have a link in chat. God,
It's
you
me
know what?
making the rules.
Alright, is this just a share?
Yeah. I mean, this is just like literally the rules. It's not any spoilers. It's just how the game works.
Yeah, but like, is this okay for everyone to be able to access forever?
Yes,
Because it's there
fine.
forever
I
now.
mean,
Okay.
So
it's view only. It's good. So hold on.
I'm
Let me.
not like too worried about like my Kickstarter. Like years down the line, I'm like, dang it! If only I had linked this document. No.
No, it's not even really that. It's just like you didn't give like a like a permanent share link to or not even share, but like collab link is what I was asking.
Oh no, I think it's only a view. Only
Yeah, it's a view only, so we're good.
Yeah.
Copy link. There we go. Okay. I'm going to set up a little Nightbot command real quick while we start going over this stuff.
Sure.
So exclamation point vigil, I guess, will be how you figure out the rules, and I'll put that in the stream title after this.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, AJ, if you want to go over the world.
Sure. So I'm gonna go over for
Yeah.
our viewers / potentially player participants who weren't here for the last session, -.5. What the kind of game's looking like. So the game we have here is called the Long Vigil, and essentially it's a space opera game set thousands of years in the future. The players are a group of robots. They were stationed at a military supply depot at the edge of a vast human empire. So this is, kind of standard human-centric empire. It was large, spanned, hundreds of thousands of potentially solar systems. And they were just kind of a tiny side, like little dot at the kind of very outpost. And they were created during a war the humans had with a race called the Adversites. Clearly they were named by the humans themselves. They don't call themselves Adversites. And the robot's job was essentially to refuel and resupply passing military ships during this war. Eventually, the group, the human patrols and various ships that stopped by the supply depot stopped coming. And they stopped coming for a rather long time, like a few hundred years. Actually 1,000 years in total, about 1,000 and some change. So the robots have so far, they've maintained their post this entire time. They've tried to maintain the supply depot to the best of their ability, but clearly as time went on, kind of their parts frayed and the depot kind of fell somewhat into disarray despite their best efforts. But recently, within the last week, the robots received a slipspace transmission, which is essentially a space radio, and it said that all the colonies had fallen and that Earth was the last bastion left. And it called on all units, all friendly human units, to converge on Earth to defend it from the Adversites. And our story begins with our, robot group trying to cobble together a way to get back home to defend humanity, the people they serve. And that's kind of the setting. Is there any questions about kind of setting the game or content?
So we're robots is
that's pretty much
one of the biggest things.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Yes.
Did you just go over the objective?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I did go over the objective.
So I'm trying to get home.
You're trying to get home to defend humanity. And also, not only are you robots, but you're sort of almost more like scrap bots. It's been a long time you've held this post, and all of you guys are, you're sporting a few replacement parts, a few workarounds. You guys aren't quite the factory fresh robots you were 1,000 years ago. It's taken, the time has taken its toll on you, despite the fact that you're still operational.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my name. We did some character creation last time. We have to do some like actual stat generation though this time.
And character creation, concept creation.
Yes, that is
as well,
probably a good idea.
because we have 2 people, new people that haven't made their concepts or their characters yet.
Yes.
Sure. So we can kind of go over kind of what kind of characters you want to be. The sort of robots that exist in the supply depot, which is your home, essentially. Whenever you guys have paper and are ready to kind of get started going through the mechanics.
So AJ, we can even like give ourselves a design, like what kind of robot we were made for, or is it strictly to just refueling?
So essentially, the refueling depot had a lot of different like potential services that it kind of had. So anything that could like potentially be found on like a military outpost is like fair game.
Okay.
For example, a few of like the sample, like I linked some sample droid personalities, and I think I can just link this. Maybe I'll link this in chat as well. So you guys can go through it.
No, nothing. I was gonna pull it up, but he's just gonna link it in chat.
But
Yeah.
a few of the like droids, for example, like there's a droid called Sarge. This droid was like a security droid who kind of, over the years has, malfunctioned a little bit because he ran out of, training videos to analyze and instead was analyzing war movies.
Yeah.
So now he's like full-blown like
Sarge.
soldier, yeah.
Not only a soldier, but a stereotypical movie soldier instead of like an actual soldier.
That's good.
There's also a robot called Council, who's essentially like 30 to 40 different like robot personalities crammed into one body because a lot of the parts kept breaking down, so they just kept combining various robot bodies. So those are kind of some of the examples. I can link the document, just kind of give some inspiration.
So Sarge.
I'm not sure how easy it is for you guys to view this
Hive
document.
is like a pet. Council is like a bunch of fucking people.
A swarm of nanobots with roughly the intelligence of a smart dog.
Yeah. It's kind of like dog meat. Council of One is like, I don't know, just like a bunch of fucking... He's like Congress. Right?
He is Congress, yes.
He's like literally Congress, like the entity. So he's got like a bunch of like people in his mind.
In fact, I feel like a better name for this character might actually just be Congress.
So can I like imagine this as almost like a truck stop but in space?
It's not really a truck stop because it's like military refueling.
Okay,
it's like a military truck stop.
Yeah, so it's like a fucking like pimped out truck stop, except for it's old and falling apart because it's been years since anyone's been here.
I would love to be Sarge's wife and be Marge, and then just be kind of like that, the hospitality girl.
Oh, you're gonna be Lucy?
No, not Lucy.
Oh, you don't want to be Lucy?
No.
Okay.
Right.
But you want to be like...
How y'all? How you doing?
Oh, you want to be like...
You're the
you want to
other
be
side.
like the diner.
You're the other side.
The diner girl.
Yeah.
So my name is Clint. I'm a butler, essentially. I'm like the refueling. I'm the guy who like what up and like, hello and welcome to meet you. Obviously, I had a little bit better speech back then when I was more practiced, but it's really important to me that we stay like civilized to some. Like the council actually horrifies me a little because it's just like so ridiculous looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was my character's name? Did I ever come up with the name?
You did. I wrote it down.
I don't know. Freaking Trash Can Man?
Yeah, Trash Can Man.
No, I didn't write it down.
Shit.
Trash man.
I'm the Trash Man. I come out and I just start throwing trash all over the ring.
You could be
and then I start eating garbage.
You could be John Gordress.
Just call yourself Oscar. Freaking Sesame Street.
No.
Freaking sand fights.
I'm not the Trash Man. Come on. I'm not the literally living in the Trash Man. I am like... I am the one that takes care of the trash.
I am the trash.
So anyways, whatever my character's name is, I am like a giant bucket right? Is like my head, and then I have like just kind of like a little roller ball that gets me around, and I have like arms that can extend really long, so I can like do stuff with my bucket. Mm-hmm. But I'm basically just like a rolling around trash can, and I like to fiddle with shit a lot, and like try to like make up new inventions out of like our recycling.
Or could I be like the mechanic bot? So like as they're stopping and getting refueled, I'm like kind of the service guy.
Yeah, you can literally just be like the mechanic.
Yeah.
Like you work on like ships.
Yeah.
I was thinking that would actually be.
Yeah, you can be mechanic. Also, if you guys want to like overtake one of the personalities I presented, like that's fine. Like I guess so anything is fair game essentially.
Yeah, if you want to be anyone but probably Hive.
Yeah.
I mean,
unless you want to be the pet.
Yeah.
You can be Hive. Like Hive, like is like a fine choice. You can be Hive. Hive might have like slightly different rules though than like a standard bot.
Yeah, which is going to be a little
weird.
Only issue.
Yeah.
So you want to be a mechanic, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what? Like the thing is, we've been robots like that have AI that have been stranded away from human interaction for like a long time, right?
I'll just be Exhibit, but like
Exhibit. You're gonna be Pimp My Ride.
Pimp My Ride, but no, I won't do that. I'm trying to think because like if I'm a mechanic.
So try to think of like, okay, you're a mechanic by trade, but then what is like your little like your like hobby or your or like something that you get stuck on, you know?
Or how is your
Sarge's
standard
wife.
robot personality?
Sarge's wife, the mechanic.
This is what Josh looks like.
Yeah, that's what I look like.
And then this is what I look like. I look like a humanoid person on top of like a flight jet.
I got you.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Would a military outpost have a therapist?
Yeah, could totally have a therapist.
You can be a therapist, I guess.
I want to be a therapist.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay, but like, so that's your trade, right? But another thing is we've been swapping out parts of our bodies because they fail over time, right? And the more shit that we swap out, like the more fucked up our personality becomes. So it's been a long time since we've swapped out our first part, right? Like it's been a while, and we're pretty quirky, right? We're supposed to be really quirky robots.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like a little like, I don't know, like fucking, I don't really know, like imagine me as like more like a demolitionist, right? And I'm like kind of like a fucking like maniac, where I'm like sitting there like trying to like fiddle with shit, and I like make shit blow up all the time, and I'm like I'm pretty useless generally. So that's kind of my mechanic, is that I'm like I'm a little like I'm trying to be really creative, and like because we have so much shit that we're losing, right? Like we have so much shit that just becomes obsolete, that we have this junkyard basically that's just like, it's fucked up how much shit's in there. So I just want to like take shit from the junkyard and like try to wire it up, and like, oh guys, this is gonna be great, you know.
It's gonna be great.
I can make a new blender for the kitchen using these batteries and this lawnmower motor.
This is you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like, this is like what I am, right?
He's like a recycler.
I'm a recycler. Like my purpose was to repurpose all of the recycling that we did at the space station. Because another thing is we generate a lot of waste being like a depot, right? Like, we're not doing anything with our fucking waste. Even when we were functioning, we weren't doing anything with our waste. And it's hard to just put it somewhere because we're in space.
Hey guys, let's give Gotcha Pizza a nice smile right now.
No.
Who's that?
Got that pizza.
He's been on stream. That's Cody.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Nice.
What's up, Cody?
Hey, Cody.
He's been on stream.
All right, guys. So let's kind of try and get started.
Sounds good.
You know,
Yeah, sorry.
you guys all. No, it's good. You know, we're just get through character creation, and then we'll be be off to the races, so to speak. Okay.
Yeah, so what do you guys want to be? So you want to be a mechanic,
So I'm
you want to be a
mechanic,
therapist.
yeah.
You know, think of like a quirk for your character, right?
So for
Or
me,
also, like, what is your like vaguely like your form? Are you a humanoid robot? Are you like a
spider
robot?
I don't think
you can be. I mean, you should be creative with it because you can be anything.
Yeah, I don't think I'm so much of either of those. Like, I think I'm more kind of just like almost like a box robot that like has stuff that flings out, with like arms and tools,
Nice.
But over the years since
R2.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much over the years since we have been swapping out parts, like I go to reach for like a ratchet, out comes, a toothbrush, So it's like I have all this data in my mind on how to fix things, but I'm really ill prepared or like supplied to fix anything now because
like your tools have just like broken and you've had to replace them with other shit.
Everything's stripped.
And every once in a while like you pull something out and it's like shit. That's not good for this.
Exactly.
Alright, so we have kind of a box shape, like R2 unit.
Okay, but this is a depot. The only thing that would be here is like ships.
But a dentist.
So you could be the robot equivalent of a dentist, maybe.
Yeah.
So do you want to be like the robot repairer? You want to be responsible for actually not like repairing, but for
robot plastic surgeon.
Robot plastic surgeon.
So like you deal with cosmetic things, although teeth are really important for your health.
You'll be a stylist. Does that sound good? Do you want to be a stylist?
Fuck yeah.
Alright.
People used to come by and get their haircut at the depot.
Alright, people, they need to have their clothes maintained, everything else you need from a stylist, I guess,
So you're not even just like a stylist, like hairstylist. You're like a
stylist.
You're like a style, like what am I trying to say?
One styly boy.
Why can I not think of that word? Consultant. You're like a style consultant.
Right.
You can just like they can consult him on like style choices, right? These are people that are like, okay, I'm about to go meet like this leader of this planet, and I need to look good.
Sure. So it's the depot, I guess, was near some important diplomatic targets.
Yeah.
He's a diplomatic coach, so to speak, for these military units.
Yeah, sure.
Well packed with information and how to present yourself to alien life forms.
So what do you look like? Yeah, be careful with this. It's like burnt already.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah, so what do you look like? What are you...
I look just like a small speaker.
You're just a small speaker? So you
don't
actually...
a small cylindrical...
You're an Alexa?
Right. I would recommend you have a method of locomotion and the ability to manipulate tools.
Yeah, so you need to have arms and a way to move.
Small little Wally arms.
Sick. And that's how you move too.
Arms?
That's how I move as well.
They're not small though. They telescope. That way you can actually like reach up and interact with really tall people or like really short people.
Sure.
Like my arms.
Wait, so you guys both have telescoping arms and you're like a tiny cylindrical object that like crawls around on the ground.
And he used to have legs.
Right.
Does that sound okay to you?
So I'm imagining. So roughly, how large are you as a small cylindrical thing?
Wait, you're supposed to be a style consultant.
Yeah, a small cylindrical, just like speaker.
Wouldn't you be stylized yourself?
No. When he was designed, everyone was into utilitarianism.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, how very Ayn Rand of him.
That's what I thought. It was like one of my quirks was going to be all my style. Invest was going to be like old as shit.
You need the biggest pompadour.
It's just like not fashionable anymore.
That's fair. I like that.
Why are you keeping this child up so late? Yeah, well,
Who, you? Or me? Because, dog, I've been awake since. Well, I had another D&D stream last night that kept me up till 1 in the morning. That was bad.
Yeah, that D&D stream was like intense.
It went pretty late.
Yeah.
Alright, so we have a stylist speaker box thing. I'm gonna say that, I don't know, you have to be like at least the size of like a medium-sized like trash bin.
So you have to be the size of my head.
That's fine.
Not my head, my character's head.
Head. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
as in
like a kitchen trash bin or like a bathroom trash bin.
Like a kitchen trash bin, like 3.5-ish feet tall by like, I don't know, like a foot and a half wide. Like it's like kind of like the roughly like minimum like dimension, just so that you're kind of roughly equivalent with, you know.
I think it would be really funny if you're kind of like Sarge, where you were trying to figure out how to like maintain your trade over time, but your sense of style has become so fucked up because you have no one to practice on except for robots, and you have nothing to use except for like scrap metal. So you haven't been stylizing like hair or like suits or anything like that. You've just been...
So I'm pretty much...
Like, and you like try to style us, right? Like, I feel like that would be really funny. Like, you're styling us. Like, you're like trying to make, you know, my trash bin look better by adding shit onto it.
Okay, so we have roughly. So to be clear, I guess. What's up?
Saying it's up to Leonard what his character is.
Okay. Yeah, it's true. You know, I guess let's get started on like stats just to get through, you know, kind of this portion.
Yeah, we got to get through stats. Oh shit.
We can finalize some of the details of character creation in a bit. You know, if people want to change it up as we go, you can, you know, kind of say I have a thing, and that's fine.
Okay, sounds good.
By the way,
get things started.
This is Zack's concept for his character.
Oh, sick!
Oh my
he's
goodness.
just on tank treads. Yeah, he's got kind of like tank treads, but he's rectangular, so he's got a lot of stuff inside of him, like compartments. And on kind of like the treads, he's got like hydraulic pushers and rods that can like extend himself up, just so he can get up above things to like, you know, really see what he's looking at, what he's working on. But he can only go up and down. That's about it. And it's probably just an extra...
Oh, you can't... I was thinking, like, you could, like, lean back. Because if you're trying to get, like, under shit...
Well, that's what his arms are for.
Oh, you're just
he
gonna...
just reaches... Yeah.
Okay.
Zack reaches under.
What is this? Have you guys ever seen anything like this before? Yeah, we sent you on Facebook Messenger, AJ, a...
picture of the drawing.
Picture.
Yeah, I appreciate this robot. You know, he's got a unique concept for sure.
I'm not going to draw it because I suck at art.
That's okay. Here, Leonard. You can write on this.
I need a pencil.
You know,
we only have 3.
You guys have pencils? Yeah.
Right.
Why do I need this?
To write on top of.
I need that to write on top of.
Yeah, actually. Josh actually needs this to write on top of. We'll just split a pencil. It's okay, Josh. Okay. Alright, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the game.
And by that you mean the character generation.
We'll get the character generation. Alright, so you guys, the stats you all have are as follows. Everyone has strength, dexterity, durability, sensors, analytics, hard drive, personality, and a last stat called modularity, which works a little bit different than the other stats. So on your character sheets, if you have this document open in front of you, you can write these down, or I can repeat them again. So you can write down your stats you need.
So strength, dex, durability, senses, analytics, hard drive, and personality.
As well as modularity.
And modularity.
Yes.
Right here. There you go. And then you can just copy mine. Oh, Leonard has it open. Nice. Oh, and he's got it open.
Yeah, I just
pull it open.
We need it.
Yeah.
And mostly I need it because you've already written down the stats.
That's an interesting question. Orcs make beautiful lovers. If you could fight a pony, could you make it past 3 5-minute rounds? I'm a pretty big guy, but I don't think I could.
Did you just write anal?
Shh! I wrote analytics, Josh.
Oh, anal, for short.
Did you really?
Absolutely.
I did the exact same thing.
Right, so you guys have the stats written down. Everyone? Okay, I can kind of go through, like, briefly what these stats mean. Strength, it's your physical strength, your ability to manipulate objects in the physical world. Dexterity, it's kind of, you know, how quickly you move and how agile you are.
In the physical world.
It's also going to kind of represent your, you know, eye sensor, you know, limb coordination, used for stuff for like shooting guns, being, you know, sneaky, stuff like that. Durability, self-explanatory. It's kind of how tough you are, how much punishment you can take. Sensors, again, self-explanatory, how well you perceive things in the world around you. Analytics is it's kind of, for the people who play D&D, it's kind of an equivalent for wisdom to some degree. It's kind of like what kind of programs you have installed and how good they are at analyzing various situations, analyzing people, analyzing kind of things you perceive with your sensors, and in general, just kind of, you know, having some additional input on situations beyond literally what your sensors pick up. Hard drive is kind of the equivalent for a D&D style of intelligence. It represents your memory, pretty much, and like kind of how you can go through your memory banks and pull out useful information, essentially. Personality represents your personality matrix, which is mostly important for when you interact with actual organics, how you know, kind of deal with talking with, you know, organic life forms, and, you know, your ability to do that. Modularity is a special stat. All the other stats are a range from 3 to 18. Modularity is a single or somewhat single-digit stat. Starts off with 4, and it represents how many modifications can be installed on your robot. Now, modifications are stuff that kind of give you stat bonuses. They're things that, you know, allow you to analyze. You know, you have their combat tactical enhancements. Sometimes it could be stuff that allows you to go underwater. It could be stuff that allows you to release like a giant like smoke cloud, or they could be like jets that you can fly around with. There's lots of different potentially like mods you can have installed on your bot beyond just like the basic form of the bot itself. If you guys have ideas for mods that you'd like that kind of do something a little bit mechanically different, I am definitely open to that.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, so I see that we have a stat array that we start out with.
What? Yes. So the stat array you start out with, you automatically start out with 4 in modularity. And then you have a 14, 12, 12, 10, 8, 8, 8, 6 stat array.
And we can assign these to anything that we want to, right?
You can assign them to anything you want to. The higher, the better. And the stats work like D&D stats in that, you know, for every 2 above 10, it's a +1 bonus to modifiers. For every 2 below 10, it's a -1 bonus to modifiers. So pretty much just like D&D. For those of you familiar with the system. So feel free to assign these stats. I can answer any questions. And then pretty much after that, we're going to choose some mods, and then we'll be off to the races. Hopefully, we'll also probably should choose like a weapon or some sort of equipment used in self-defense in case, you know, things get ugly.
Yeah. Okay, so everyone should assign their stats that they have. 14, 12, 12, 10, 8, 8, 6. And we start out with 4 modularity always.
Yeah, if you guys want to...
So depending on what you want to be good at.
You can reduce a stat by 2 to increase a stat by 2. However, no stat may be lowered below 8 or raised above 14. And in addition to that, you can lower stat by 2 to increase your modularity by 1, or lower modularity by 1 to increase your stat by 2. But modularity cannot be lowered below 3 or raised above 5. I'd recommend not lowering modularity because it's pretty important. Mods are very, very useful, and it also represents how many times you can be healed.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, taking those into account as you assign your stats to whatever you want them to be.
Well, you said modularity represents how many times we can be healed?
So essentially, when you guys are damaged in the field, you can repair yourself using field kits, which essentially you guys have scrap lying around you can patch each other up with. However, each time you're healed in this way, you use up one of your modularity slots to heal yourself. So say you take in 10 damage, and you say, I want to use scrap to heal myself. You pay 10 scrap, you heal yourself 10 damage, and one of your modularity slots is just missing an action until you can get to an actual repair bay and heal yourself fully.
Cool.
So over time, if you're in the field and you don't have access to a repair bay, your modularity slots are going to be shot as taken up by field repair kits.
Okay. So they add cool functionality, but they can be lost pretty easily.
They can get knocked out if you get hurt.
Hey, so AJ, if I wanted to take, if I wanted to do a modularity of 5, would I take 2 away from the 14, or just any of them, of those stats?
Any stat.
You can take 2 away from any stat as long as it doesn't lower any stat below 8.
So okay, you have 2 8s to assign?
2 8s and 1
Yeah,
6.
so you have 2 8s and 2 6s. You can't adjust those. You can't lower those to even worse.
Yeah, you have 2 8s and a 6. So your 6 can't budge, your 8s can't budge unless you want to upgrade them, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah, so your 8s and 6s are pretty much set. Your other stuff you can mess with.
Okay, so I'm thinking that my... Okay, so Norman went with personality being his highest trait, which makes sense for his character. He also went with high intelligence.
Yeah, or hard drive, you know.
Yeah, which is hard drive. And then high senses. But he's bad at strength and dex and durability and analysis. Well, he's okay at analysis.
Those are, you know, Norman went for the total non-combat build. It's good. Dude, no one go for combat.
Who needs combat?
Have no combat. In your journey, don't worry. The fact that there are some mechanics centered around it doesn't mean anything.
This is fine. Actually, this is what I want to do. I want to move.
Luckily, none of you guys are even like tertiarily like combat oriented as bots. So I think that's gonna work out.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're not like none of our personalities are necessarily, but like, yeah.
Doesn't mean
don't worry.
Josh
Through
can't
grit
just,
and determination, I believe that you will succeed.
So what did you say analysis was equivalent to? Wisdom?
So analysis is somewhat equivalent to wisdom.
Okay.
It represents your ability to read situations and to gain insights. And also it's kind of like hey, I want to understand this like geological sample. What's its components? You run analysis on it. I want to run an analysis on X, Y, or Z. You know, anything you could think of a computer could potentially do. Or like I said, even a person, you know, to figure something out as analysis.
So I would guess that my character would be just naturally good more at hard drive, right?
So yeah, hard drive represents...
Or actually maybe just analysis.
Your memory banks.
Yeah, no. My character would be more good at analysis because I have to like figure out what to do with junk.
Yeah. I mean, so I feel like analysis is probably pretty high, yes.
Okay.
For your character.
So I'm going to try, I think I'm going to put a 14 in analysis.
That's what I did.
That's what you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a mechanic.
Yeah.
So my personality, though, is the lowest one. With a 6.
Yeah.
AJ.
But you're decent at, wait, you have,
yeah.
I thought you only had 1 10. Do you have 2 10s?
I got 2 10s because I took 2 away to have a modularity of 5.
Okay, so what did you put your other 12 in?
I took it from my 12.
So shouldn't you have 3? No, you do have 2 10s because you lowered...
I lowered to 12.
So you had like a 12 in dex or something, and then you put an 8 in strength. But then you lowered your dex by 2.
No? So...
But I'm confused. You should
have... Just on this, I have...
14, 12, 12, 10, 8, 8, 6.
So I took this 12, and I lowered it to a 10 just to get the extra modularity.
Yeah, that sounds like it's good.
Yeah.
There should be 14, 12, 10, 10, 8, 8, 6. Should be...
Yeah, so what I'm seeing here is that you have...
14, 12, 10, 10, 8...
It looks like
8,
you just...
6.
All you did was lower one of your 12s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still have 2 8s.
Yeah, there's 2 8s on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have 2 8s and a 6.
So you should have 14, 12, 12, 10, 8, 8, 6. Right? So what I'm saying is that
I could have done it that way, but I didn't because I'd rather have.
Oh, you raised your modularity. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what.
So you lowered.
Where were you this whole conversation?
I was paying attention to this, like to your stat spread. So your stat spread just didn't make sense to me, but it's because of the modularity.
Yeah, the modularity unfortunately works a little different. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sounds good.
All right. So you guys have roughly assigned stats. You guys have stuff you care about.
Kind of.
Oh, wait, I have
Let me know.
I have a jet. I have flight jets.
All right, for those of you who have your stats assigned, you can write a skill section. You don't need to write anything in it yet, but you all start off with 5 skill points, and essentially during play, if you feel like you should know something or have skills of something, you just tell me, and you can increase your skill with that as we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so just leave some room for that on your character sheet for your skills, but we don't need to define them right now.
If you don't write skills with a Z, I'm gonna kill you.
If you write skills with a Z, you automatically lose 1 skill point. You only have 4.
Or this.
Alright, I'm sorry, AJ, say that again? I just filled out my stats.
All right, so you guys have filled out your stats. Just write down skills and leave us some space for your skills as we figure them out during play. We don't need to define them right now, but just have some space for them.
Cool, got it.
Okay.
And then finally, you guys are going to choose some sort of weapon. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. I'll give you I'll say you guys can have 3 mods and a weapon, or if you don't want to have a weapon, I'll give you an extra 1 mod. And you guys. Scrap weapons, I'll say, are free. Everyone can have a lead pipe they can, figure out how to use. If you want anything more complicated than that, you're gonna need to use you need to get a different weapon, essentially. Also, it was maybe interesting to all of you guys. You guys all start out with 15 scrap each and also 3 power. Now, you guys can choose to keep this in one big community pool, or you can have your own individual power/scrap heaps you want to keep track of.
I think it'd be better to just track all of that together.
Okay.
Sure. So in that case, you guys have 60 scrap and you guys have 12 power.
I'll take care of it. Cool. Can I get that eraser over? Because I'm going to be erasing a lot. The eraser, please.
Did we go over HP?
Yes, your health is defined as 15 plus whatever your durability is.
Shit.
15 plus durability. Oh, that's plus 1.
Yeah.
No, plus 0.
No, when I say durability, I don't mean the modifier. I mean literally the stat.
Yes.
Wait, plus the stat?
Yes. So if the stat is 10, you have 25 health.
Good. I was like, shit.
You have 10, so you have
14 health.
What's your durability?
Mine's 8.
Wait, how do you have 14 health?
I don't.
He thought he was adding the modifier. What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. You have -1 durability.
Yes. Weapons, I have a scrap weapon. AJ, can I take 2 mods already? We can start with 3 mods, right?
Yeah. Everyone starts with 3 mods, unless you want to get a weapon that's not a scrap weapon. A scrap weapon is a melee, it's just a basic melee, improvised weapon.
I'll take a slug. I'll take a light slug thrower instead of a 3rd mod.
Sure, so that's kind of like a pistol.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 2 mods. You have a slug thrower, and for the cost of, I don't forget what the thing I have is.
I got it. So 1 scrap can be turned into 5 light.
5 bullets, and you guys have 60 scrap and 12 power total.
Okay. Piercing is in piercing type, or piercing is in the damage.
Piercing is in the dice explode like Hackmaster.
Fuck yes, I love that. Thanks.
Dude, I definitely have a light laser rifle.
Also, be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick. You guys can figure stuff out.
Where is an energy blade? Do I have an energy blade? I feel like I would just use a scrap weapon.
Do I even have a weapon? That's fucking.
Yes, you have at least a scrap weapon.
You need to make your character useful. Your character is not allowed to be useless.
Sure, then I'll at least have a scrap weapon.
Is that picking up on stream? Oh yeah, that's picking up on stream.
What is it?
Oh, my laptop. Hang on.
Okay, can I see a pencil? Anybody?
Wait, what happened? Oh, I took yours. Or actually, I think...
Is there another pencil over there, Norman? Or pen?
There's a pen. I wouldn't recommend using it, though.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Hey, guys, go ahead and hang out for a sec.
Hang up?
Ish. Okay, we're fine. Sure.
So for my guy, my bot, I think it would have like some sort of like arc welder or like welding tool. That would be my weapon, well, at least one of them.
Okay.
But it's very short range.
So it'd basically be an energy blade then.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like any of these things have to necessarily come in like a specific form, though we can ask
Like a plasma cutter.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Scissors.
Zack was asking, or he was saying that he wants to have like a welder.
Some sort of like welding tool, so it would be either like a plasma cutter or just like an arc welder that would be attached to my boss since he's a mechanic.
But he's saying that he wants to use that for his weapon.
Yeah, sure. So that could be considered an... I'll say that that's a mod. And when you can use it like regularly, like in a low powered mode as like a scrap weapon. However, if you pump extra power into it by spending power, you can turn it into like an energy weapon.
Okay.
With the same rules as energy weapons. However, your mod also the benefit of you can cut through scrap with it really well.
Nice. That's exactly what I want.
Okay.
So that's something I could use at any time, and then like you said, when I do power it up, it lasts for that encounter or just that instance.
Yeah, roughly that encounter. Yeah,
okay.
But you can use it in like a lower power mode. It's not as like strong. It's like a regular scrap weapon, but it's still like functional. Even
is it easy to get power, or is it hard?
Power is like going to be like a relatively. It's not like super common resource. It's like something that you are going to find here and there. Well, it's like scrap in that like it's not just everywhere. It's not going to be super easy.
Got it.
It just sounds so much better than we do on stream.
Really?
Yeah. Which is good. Through the Blue Yeti, you sound great, AJ.
Dude, I'm glad this Yeti is, getting Janessa's money's worth.
Well, is it a Yeti? Snowball?
The snowball's the big one. Right?
Ah, yes.
Okay, so I'm not really sure. I think I'm just going to use scrap weapons because my guy likes scrap.
That makes sense.
He just is a...
Sounds good.
Could you get like a fancy scrap weapon?
Maybe.
I mean, if you want to like describe to me a cool scrap weapon, you can make it a mod, and I'll say cool.
I'm more like I want to have like. Can I have like a compactor mold where I can just like dump scrap and then make new scrap weapons like very quickly?
Yeah, dude, you got it.
It's just sure.
So that if I don't, just because like I don't want to like it's really cool when Zack is just like, oh, you can pump power into it and it does extra damage. Like, that's a really cool mechanic. And I don't want to just necessarily be stuck with just like, oh, I just have like a scrap weapon, right? So, but I want to be able to be like, okay, you know what? I decide I want to throw my weapon this time. It's like, this guy's charging at me. I throw it and then pull out my other scrap weapon that I have stored away in my compactor.
Yeah, I mean, we could have something like you have this like weapons or like a rapid compactor where you're able to turn like scrap into various types of weapons very quickly.
Yeah.
And also other like tools. It can take up a mod, and essentially, on the fly, I'll say, hey, if you pay freaking 4 scrap, you can have X, Y, or Z, and then you can have whatever tool you want.
Cool.
As one of your mods, rapid compaction or something.
Yeah.
Cool. Leonard, do you have an idea of which weapons be?
That's what I'm saying, dude. You need a concept for your character where it's actually going to be useful.
How many weapons?
I want to be a stylist. I really do. It's just like
a stylist.
What weapon?
I mean, you'd have like scissors.
Man, you switched a lot.
Scissors.
Alright, next level scissors.
Edward Scissorhands.
Like modified scissors.
Maybe, I don't know.
If you want to have some scissors as your weapon, Leonard, I'm not going to stop you.
If you're a stylist, I would see you as like the Mr. Handyman from like Fallout. That's how I would see your bot.
I stole his legs.
Because right now you're just kind of an Amazon Alexa with arms.
I want to have some scissors. Fuck it.
All right, sick.
Alright, sounds good.
Scissors.
Sure.
Are they like large scissors or like
Are
they
large
energy scissors?
Energy scissors? Well, you've been styling robots, so they might be energy scissors.
Just imagine like a
Laser
lightsaber,
scissors?
but like scissors.
Can I please have laser scissors?
Leonard, you can have laser scissors, dude. I'll give it to you.
Laser scissors. Fuck yeah.
They help reduce split ends as you're cutting.
I'm gonna say your laser scissors count as a an energy weapon. It doesn't take a mod slot. And they function just kind of as a regular energy weapon.
That is completely fine with me.
How many mods do we get? We get 2?
You guys get 3 mods unless you took a weapon.
Yeah.
In which case you get 2 mods.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I mean your like plasma like cutter thing is a mod.
Yeah.
So that's counts. Like, you can have a second weapon if you want, like a pistol or a laser rifle or something. If you want to get 1 less mods, then you'll get 1 mod. Or you can just take 2 mods.
I think I'm gonna take 2 mods.
Okay, sounds good.
So I took flight jets and solar powered for my mods because I have flight jets.
Yeah.
And that makes sense.
Dude, solar
Okay, so you have a
powered?
flight jet.
I think I'm gonna get solar powered also.
Everyone takes solar power. That's how you guys have been functional for so long.
Yeah,
pretty much.
We were very green. We were put out on the edge of service. Actually, no, we were we were autonomous with like very little refueling required, and we've just been kind of making.
I mean, like literally none. You've had no outside intervention, and you've managed to remain functional for like a freaking millennium. So it's pretty impressive, craftsmanship.
Did you hear about the Venus flight jets or whatever? No, not the Venus. What's that? The one of the Voyager. Like they fired up the Voyager's supplemental jets for the first time in a really long time to test
I did hear about that.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm imagining, except like much like orders of magnitude longer.
I mean, luckily at the height of its power, the human empire, they had access to very advanced technology. It's why you guys have been around for so long and still functional. You guys were at one point, like cutting edge, tech. You're still cutting edge tech, sort of, just very, very old cutting edge tech who now has a bunch of difficulties.
Yeah. Okay. Can't really think of other modules.
I think I'm gonna do overclock for my second one.
Yep.
You're gonna have overclock, so you're just like go into fucking crazy mode.
Pretty much.
It's like barbarian rage. Overclock.
Yeah. I mean, overclock can also be used on like skill checks. You just kind of throw yourself into overdrive. It costs some power, but you get a bonus on checks, so that's cool.
I'm solar powered, bro.
And you're solar powered, so
yeah,
that'll definitely help out.
Whoa. Can you go into? Please. That's not what okay. I mean, right now I have a quick compactor. I don't know.
Yeah.
What other mods do you think would be useful? Or by that I mean like what other mods are like? What were you expecting us to do for mods?
I mean, honestly, I created these mods with the intention that they're all useful. Like they're good. They do things that are good.
Oh, well, it doesn't help that I can't see the thing right now.
Oh yeah, here.
And not only like you guys have been doing, like the mods are there as like a guideline, but if you want to make up like your own cool capability that your like robot can do, then sure, go for it, and I'll kind of just wing it with how the rules work around that. So the mods that are like listed there, just kind of like a
I was gonna take pheromones.
Okay, I definitely want armor.
Yes, armor is a very good mod. I would recommend it.
Yeah, I definitely want armor. Doom cannon?
I know, right?
Dude, the thing sounds crazy.
Should I just take Doom cannon?
I think Leonard should. That's his weapon.
Leonard the Stylist with a Doom cannon. Keep in mind that thing costs 1 power every time you fire it.
That's expensive.
Man. Wait, instead of flight jets, it's actually just Doom cannon? I actually just float around on my Doom cannon?
And like you just completely overpower it to like fire a massive burst of energy.
Yeah.
But you have to like fall backwards, basically.
I'm just imagining it's like a laser drop kick.
Yeah.
Like, I think I want that, yeah.
Laser drop kick?
I can laser drop kick someone in the face.
No, Gears of War. The boomers.
Boom.
Oh, yeah. The big guns, yeah.
I know.
Okay, I'm actually not going to take Slug Thrower. I'm just going to have Doom Cannon, and,
You have solar power too, so you guys have enough power for this?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to take Flight Jets, Doom Cannon, Solar Powered, and Scrap Weapon instead.
Flight Jets, Doom Cannon, Solar Power, and a Scrap Weapon. Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Sorry, AJ.
I kind of want, like, a material analyzer.
Sure.
That would make sense.
You have like a somewhat built-in like material analyzers, like all of you guys do. It's kind of built into your analysis stat. But you can have like a more advanced version that does like a thing if you wanted to.
I want like a remote drone that can go and analyze materials for me from a distance.
Boom. Done. You got it.
Analyzer drone. Basically, like I want to be able to be like, oh, here's this like weird thing, like this weird structure. Go find out what it's made out of.
You got a straight up scrap drone, dude. It's got freaking arms. It can manipulate things. It flies around. It's cool.
And it dispenses from a hidden compartment on the side of my trash can.
Yes. You have the freaking...
It's just like a cap. It's like a cap. And it just like... Once it's in there... I have Cappy from fucking Smo. From Odyssey?
Okay, so...
I have Cappy.
So you have a rapid compartmentalizer, which allows you to like form scrap into tools very quickly. You have a remote drone,
and I have armor.
And you have armor. Okay, cool. And you have a scrap weapon.
Okay.
And I have a scrap weapon. Yeah.
I have Nanobot Factory.
Ooh, Leonard has Nanobot Factory.
All right.
Which is super useful.
Nanobot Factory is in fact very good. It allows you to perform permanent repairs in the field.
In the field?
Yes.
Damn.
It still takes a long time. He's only able to heal himself, unfortunately.
Oh.
With that Nanobot Factory.
Do we have any, like, actual... I guess we have, like, kits. So, we don't need, like, heals.
The field kits that I mentioned are, like, you can make repairs using scrap, and that's just fine. However, each time you do a repair, it counts as, like, one kit. So there's no specific like kits like as an item. It's just like I've taken 13 damage. I want to repair 13 damage. You heal 13, and like now one of your modularity slots is gone until you buy off that with a permanent repair. Okay.
But you're saying that the factory, the Nanobot Factory, takes care of that?
So the Nanobot Factory, you still have to make field repairs normally if you want to do something really quickly, like within like a few minutes.
Yeah.
However, The nanobot factory allows you to make the longer term repair, which I think takes a couple hours. However, then that counts as a permanent repair, not a field repair, so it doesn't use any of your modularity slots. And also, they're capable of going into overdrive and like temporarily giving you some hit points.
Cool.
Yeah, I got a name. So my name's Otto.
Otto.
But it's spelled as A-U-T-O, Otto.
Auto. Like automatic.
Yeah, like automatic, but it's Otto.
I mean, that is an excellent name. All of the robots' names are pretty simple and represent their function, so I think it's pretty good.
Thank you.
Well, now you just made me think that I have to do that.
Yeah, see, what are you, trash? Garbage?
Yeah, I'm not. No. I'm like,
dude, just call yourself like freaking like Wreckbot or something for Recyclebot.
Recyclebot seems like a pretty good name.
Sure. I mean, if you want, yeah. I mean, whatever you want to be called.
Sure, I'll be Recyclebot.
Recyclebot.
Just be Recyclebot. Not because
since your bot's so green, like green-minded, I think it should be something around
a green, like think
green bot.
Green bot. No.
You know my name is gonna end with boy.
Should I just be like,
oh boy,
hippie? Hippie bot.
Hippie bot.
Style boy.
Right. I mean, keep in mind one of the robots is also named like Clive, and one of them is named Boris. So.
But maybe I should be Reese.
Reese? Oh, that's
Recycler.
Good. Oh. Reese.
I'll be Reese.
If you ever have a spoon, we're definitely calling you Reese with.
I could be a girl too. Reese with her spoon.
It's actually like your scrap weapon is a giant spoon.
I mean, I try to make them giant spoons.
It's just for some reason your preferred weapon type. Okay, so have you guys decided on your mods?
Yeah, I think we're good on. I just wrote all those under skills, so that's good.
Okay, good. Good. Glad that happened. All right, those skills will be defined during play. They're a different thing, but it's cool. No worries. You can just make a second section or something, or whatever organizational method makes sense to you. You know,
yes,
like,
erasing it and replacing it is definitely.
All right. Does everyone have their character so far set out? That should be like all you guys need, except for someone should keep track of how much scrap you guys have and how much power you have, or you guys can all keep track of it separately. All right, Norman, keeping track of how much scrap you have.
Names.
Right.
My name is Clont, except people call me Clint.
Clont?
Clont with a zero.
Clint?
Clint, but call me Clint. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's the 0th
just
generation.
Oh, you dead.
So he's not the first generation. He's like the prototype. Prototype generation butler bot.
It was rough. It was a rough time. They were trying to push him out so that he was ready in time, but they didn't get him, so they got a 0th generation, and the first generation came out wildly successful.
I think everyone should have a model number.
Attached to the name?
Mine's
just like
my name.
You're literally.
Oh, like what okay.
Yeah, so his is CL0NT.
And that's what my name is.
But it's also his name.
Yeah. It gets really weird when you move to the 3rd generation, and then people start calling him, like, Clint. It's not great.
or the 4th generation and it's Clan.
Clint, yeah, exactly. It stopped working. It stopped working. At that point, they started giving them, like, real names, but, you know. Yeah. Just call me Clint. Might as well have been a 1st generation.
Well, mine's 0 too, then, because I'm Ot and then 0.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ot 0. It's pretty good.
Ot 0. Sounds good.
So I'm R3, R-3C.
That should be it.
Yep, R3C. We call you Reese.
R3C. R3C sounds good to me.
R3C V7.
V7.
So yeah, you can either call me Ot 0 or just Otto.
That I could write down my software version.
Yeah, build number.
Build number.
I'm super into this. I'm ready to move into this, guys.
My Git
Leonard,
repository.
have you complete your character sheet with everything you need, or is there any other stuff we need to go through for you?
Nah. Style boy.
Are you good? Do you have all of your... Did you just choose modules off of here? Okay. Well, except for other than your scissors.
So you have 2.
You have mods. Laser scissors.
And laser scissors.
So you have energy weapon and 2 mods.
What mods?
What's up with that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. you wrote down 3 mods.
Yes.
So what mods do you have later?
Yeah.
I have pheromone analyzers and nanobot factory.
Perfect.
Okay, sounds good.
Although your scissors are a mod too, right?
Yeah.
They're not actually, like, you can use them as a weapon, but they're not actually a weapon.
Right? Or are they... What's the flavor behind this, AJ?
What's the flavor behind what, the scissors?
Yeah, it's not even the flavor. Like, what's the mechanic? Can his laser scissors be taken out?
His laser scissors, you can have them be attached to your body or not have them be attached to your body. Either or is fine. I won't make you count it as like a mod if you want to have it so it's integrated into your like components.
So basically, do you want to be able to take damage and have that system go down, or do you want to just have them be out in the world, but you can possibly like lose them?
Yeah.
Keeping
in mind that
be able to be lost.
Okay, so you want them to be out in the world?
Yes.
So you actually just have laser scissors that anyone can use. Okay.
Yeah. And they just count as an energy weapon.
Cool.
For all intents and purposes, unless there's any cool scissors stuff you want to happen, in which case I'm cool with that. If there's like some crazy, I don't know, you can give killer haircuts or something.
To robots, other robots.
Killer haircuts. Unintentional pun.
You what?
All right, so our
story.
story.
Pompadours.
Only do pompadours. Okay.
Our story begins with all of our, and assuming everyone's done, and we're gonna launch in. Okay. So our story begins with all of our bots at their standard places at the depot. Now the depot for some time has been taking shifts in which robots are currently active to conserve power. So you guys are the currently active bots, and the other bots aren't capable of being like woken up for like a couple weeks due to the freaking sleep scheduler. And you guys received a transmission, which you believe is from humans, talking about how the colonies have fallen, and you have to, figure out how to get home. Currently, you guys are somewhat isolated, so you are gathered together in the main depot, meeting room. It kind of looks like a small diner, where you guys sometimes service, people who come down. And you are discussing your next course of action for what you're going to do to get there. Now, you know that you need to get a spaceship of some sort, something with a warp drive, so that you can actually, warp out to nearby solar systems and eventually get to Earth. To that end, you guys have been discussing potential ways you can actually, get a ship with a warp drive. You don't have, in the fueling station, you don't have a ship with a warp drive. You do have a refueling boat, which is a kind of a small shuttle you guys use to carry fuel to certain ships which couldn't enter orbit, or they couldn't enter atmosphere. However, the refueling boat does not have a warp drive, and also, side complication, long ago, you guys have used the remainder of the fuel as you were trying to keep emergency operations online. So the refueling boat has no fuel. In terms of spaceships you guys know that are somewhat nearby and you could hazard to guess might have a functioning warp drive, there's a few. The first spaceship you guys are thinking of is you guys have been picking up transmissions nearby for a few decades actually of a pirate group which is operating out of a hangar that you guys used to run. So people would park in the hangar and then they'd kind of send some shuttles down to land within the supply depot. A group of pirates has taken over that hangar. You know that they're pirates because they've run into a few guys and they've blown them up and stole their stuff. So you're pretty sure they're pirates. A second ship that you guys know of is, it seemed like the pirates had some dealings a couple decades back with a group of smugglers, and one of those dealings went bad, and the smuggler ship crashed as it tried to escape from the pirates into the planet's surface, a few miles away actually, so it's pretty close. So you guys could check out that frigate for potentially, if it's that ship's repairable. And the final ship is, there was at some point, towards the end of your tenure on this planet, it was actually a battle between the Adversites and the human empire. and one of the Adversites ships crashed, also relatively close, maybe 10, 20 miles away. It was the Adversite warship. Your memory banks are somewhat spotty, but you believe it's a troop carrier, and it's been buried under sand for some time, but Adversite's ships were pretty well made, so if you're able to get that thing operational, you'd be in pretty good hands as well. So what would you guys like to do? What kind of information would you like to ask me about what's available?
I'm interested in the Adversite ship.
I'm also interested in the Adversite ship. I am as a player.
Same
However,
here.
as a player, I might, or as a character, I might be. Well, pirates are very, very drab and awfully terrible people. We should really take them out of our old hangar.
Yeah, also another thing, you guys have like somewhat avoided the Adversite ship so far and didn't want to check it out, and it's kind of actually bunkered down because you're worried that the Adversite ship might send out a distress beacon. It hasn't so far, and call in reinforcement Adversite ships, which would definitely be interested in you guys.
I'm glad you thought of that. Okay, maybe probably not the best idea for our end mission to be defending Earth. So
well, if the Adversites are closing in on Earth, then would they be that close to? Wait, what the fuck is my?
Or at least
that's average. Yeah. If the Adversites are closing in on Earth, would they pay attention to one lowly beacon far away?
Let's just go through this right now. You're allowed to roleplay outside of what your character might know. Okay. If you have an idea as a person, you're allowed to share that with the group.
Yeah, also, I kind of give a bunch of exposition there of what's around. You guys are free to... You guys have been here for a long time. You know a lot about the surrounding area. If you want to ask me questions about, the local fauna, kind of more about these, ships that, you know of, that you think can get operational, I could probably give you some more information.
I'm interested in the sleep scheduler.
So the sleep scheduler is some software that Council whipped up a few centuries ago, and essentially it is a way of completely powering off a few of the droids such that you don't have all your droids online and they don't consume all the power. You guys are not capable. You don't have the necessary power to keep everyone online, so you essentially rotate out who is conscious. You guys are the currently conscious crew.
Okay.
You could attempt to override the sleep scheduler if you have authorization from all the currently functioning bots. However, that will cost some serious power. Just keep that in mind if you guys try to wake up all the bots to go on, your merry way.
Okay.
So for the sleep scheduler, do we just kind of shut off at any time, or
so essentially you guys have essentially some sleep cryo tubes that you guys go into that you guys have set up, kind of makeshift cryo tubes, and you power down and completely use zero power while you're in sleep mode when you're scheduled to sleep.
Okay.
I think it would be cool to salvage the smuggler ship that crashed into a planet. That one's really close.
Okay. Yeah. So, what have we been doing? Because we've been waking up periodically.
Yeah. So each of you guys has your own function. You do your own. You guys had your own duties on the depot. So I guess why don't you guys tell me about what you've been doing this entire time to kind of try and keep the depot functional?
Well, I really care about how when the humans do eventually come back, I want us to be presentable. So I spend most of my time awake cleaning the ship up. Because the other robots, they're like Reese, he'll make a mess and leave a bunch of rusty, a pile of rust here and there, and it's I just go and clean it up. I know that it's not part of his programming to worry about it, so I'm not really that, but I do clean it up
All right, so
Style Boy.
Yeah.
Style Boy.
And Style Boy, he'll go and make it a piece of art and just go pick up after him. And then the council will take another droid into them and leave behind all this messy bits. And when they go to sleep, it's still there. So it's just heavy sigh. Clean up the scrap.
At the cost of 1 power, you can wake up a droid if you want to. If you want to wake up council or adbot or something and talk to them.
Maybe, but we'll see.
Maybe. Do we need anything? Adbot's the one who supplies us with things.
Yeah, the Adbot is technically the quartermaster. However, you guys have access to like all the equipment essentially.
Okay. We can just go get it.
Yeah, I mean, and that is included in like all the scrap and power you have like right now. That is like the full capability of the freaking like depot to give you.
Wow.
The only other potentially interesting thing is Sarge has some weapon mods built into him. Like if you wanted to freaking try and scrap him down for some weapon mods. However, you'd probably want to wake him up. Because if you try and scrap him without waking him up, auto defense systems might kick in and he will try to kill you maybe.
You can switch back. I just wanted to see if there was anything else in the document. Okay. No, we're good. We're good with just us, I think, for now.
Okay.
Unless we need some special capability. Though our companions seem mostly useless. Mostly.
I mean, you can like hang out with them, wake them up, say, "Hey guys, we're gonna go rescue Earth. What do you think?" And they'll be like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah, but we should have a plan first. So how long do we generally stay up from the sleep schedule?
So the sleep schedule keeps you guys up for a few weeks. You guys are at the start of the next sleep shift. So you're supposed to be up for like a couple weeks before anyone else wakes up.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and I don't know. What do you want to do, Style Boy?
So we're the only ones that have heard the transmission then so far, because we were the ones that were awake during that time, right? So none of the other...
Yes, you guys are the only ones who have heard and received this transmission to call, or the call to arms for Earth. None of the other bots were conscious for that.
Okay.
So, yeah. What do you think we want to do?
I'm interested in that warship, dude.
That warship? The troop carrier, rather?
Right, the Adversite troop carrier.
Yeah, the Adversite troop carrier.
I think that's probably our best bet. But if you want to go towards pirates,
well,
that's.
I mean, they're just
reasonable.
Awfully terrible people. Wouldn't you agree?
I mean, they make do with what they have. I think they're pretty useful.
Yeah. From what you guys have heard now, these pirates have been docked here for like a couple decades. You don't really like understand you picked up a few of their transmissions. However, there's a couple problems in that they don't speak any language that you guys are familiar with.
Holy shit.
And all of the transmissions you picked up are usually them, what you believe, they're holding up a different ship. So like you think that all the words you know that are in this language of this spaceship are like about like surrendering of goods or like you'll die.
Oh, that's rough.
Cool.
I'm not super into that. Yeah, let's go to the. Let's. Go ahead.
I just figured out my character. So I'm a guy. So since my personality is super low, but I'm really smart, but it's hard for me to talk to you guys because I'm kind of like just the crazy old mech or mechanic in the garage. So I'm like, I'm gonna go do the. Go down ship, you know.
He's like always grumbling.
Yeah, exactly. Your Boomhauer. You're pretty much the Boomhauer.
Your speaker is like shot. Every time you try to speak,
So I don't want to. I know I could fix it myself, but I don't want to because I'm really into all the projects that I have right now that are in the shop. You know, because I do. There's been nothing going on. Nothing's been coming in at all, like, you know, for the longest time. So I do all these forever. For all these, I do all these little side projects for all the other bots. Like they'll kind of just drop something in the shop and I'll work on it.
Nice.
And then, but they don't ever talk to me. They just kind of expect me to do it because I don't talk to them.
No, dude, we're in like cahoots, right? Like we do shit all the time.
Yeah.
Because I come up with ideas. Yeah. And I want to do shit, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. Otto, got this new idea. And also, why don't we do this? Like, hey, what's up, man? Your speaker is shot, so I have to, like, go in and, like, tamper with your speaker every now and then, so that you can actually, like, be understood.
And then like I have a really smooth voice, like oh hi, how can I?
But you're still like a grumpy old man.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
So you're like you become like more clear, but you're just more like, oh yeah, I don't want to do that.
Oh, not my part, town. Yeah, I like it. Cool.
Yeah, it just comes out like, and I'm like, oh, hold on, Otto.
All right. Cool. So
Awesome.
I think we should go. Knowing that, it'd be terrible for us to go and just hold up some pirates. I'm not super into that.
And focus.
We are vaping.
Yeah.
Vaping that nicotine.
Vaping that nicotine. All right. Also, you guys, if you have any questions, I can answer them. You know, if you guys are wanting more information about things.
What to do?
Okay,
I'm completely fine with either path.
Do we know if the Adversites have like innate combat capabilities? Do you know what I mean? Like if the ship would have like automated defenses and stuff like that?
So the Adversite troop carriers, they are typically, I mean, they're meant to carry Adversite troops. Now, Adversites are a kind of a organic, mechanical blend of creature, and you don't have like a ton of information on them, but your memory banks you do have shows them as like kind of these very large humanoid creatures that stand maybe 8 feet tall. They're very dangerous. They don't believe any Adversite could live as long as it's been. However, you know, this ship might have some inbuilt defenses that, you know, render it still dangerous. In addition, the ship is buried under like a few tons of sand. So you guys have tracked this position, but over the years it's been buried. So you'd have to dig it up somehow if you want to access it.
Okay. How much energy do you think it would take to dig it up?
So, I mean, it potentially would take a decent amount, but one, you have to figure out a way of how you would dig. Like there has to be, you know, you have to have some mechanism for digging, because that's kind of like your first like task for how you could do that. After you figured out how to dig or burrow down into it, depending on your method, I could tell you how much power that might cost.
Okay. For sure.
So what did I decide to do?
I think we have to make.
Hold on, I got that.
I think we gotta make a good old dump truck or big old tractor to kind of dig up the that big old smugglers. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
Also, yeah, so I should clarify. There's two ships that you know of that are on planet itself. There's the Smuggler's Frigate, which is not buried, and there's also the Adversite buried ship.
Okay.
So these are like these are two distinct ships. You could go to either one, but to get to the Adversite ship, you're gonna have to dig it up.
The smuggler one is on the same place that we are, yeah?
Yeah, the smugglers one is like relatively close. However, there is a group of native humanoids on the planet. They're like a small, like kind of like dog-like people, who you don't like know too much about them besides like what your exterior-facing cameras to depot picked up. But they're kind of maybe roughly like 3 feet tall-ish. You know that you think they're around the smugglers, the ship that crashed, because as you were listening in like the transmissions as this entire thing went down like years ago, it sounded like the smugglers crashed, the pirates came in to like wipe out like the rest of the smugglers who survived the crash, and then like you just heard like over the transmissions just like a bunch of like yipping and yelling, and you're pretty sure that, you know, these things like took over. So whether they're still there or what's going on, you're not sure, but they were definitely involved, and you've seen them around.
Okay.
I could make us something to dig up the Adversite ship, or I wouldn't be opposed to going to see the smuggler's ship.
Well, the smuggler ship is close. They might potentially have something useful that we could use for that plan anyways.
Yeah, that was my second thought, but you said it for me.
Indubitably.
Your character sometimes just says indubitably, even though it doesn't make sense. Like...
Yeah, I mean, it's part of it, right?
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
And per se.
And per se. Instead of he says per se. So...
Per se.
All right.
I think we should go to the smuggler ship. Per se.
Wait, is that the pirate one?
No.
That's the other one.
That is the crashed smuggler ship. The individuals who dealt with the pirates and met a sorry end.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait,
you
yeah.
Guys
So
head
that's
out.
where the pirates are going to be.
That
Probably.
you would maybe. So when you heard so essentially a few years ago you heard a whole altercation between the pirates and the smuggler's vessel. And from what you heard and sort of understood, the smugglers were dropping stuff off to the pirates. The deal went bad. They tried to run away by entering the atmosphere and flying super low to dodge the freaking pirate vessel. However, the pilot, he was much worse than he thought the pilot should be, and crashed the vessel. After the pilot crashed the vessel, they tried to escape on foot. The freaking pirates mopped him up and went to check out what was on the freaking vessel itself, where the transmission was cut off with a bunch of yipping. You predict this is the Gremlinites, which are the creatures I told you about. However, you haven't had contact since, or heard any transmissions from the freaking smuggler frigate.
Okay. Yeah, sure, let's go to the smuggler ship.
Okay. We do
Alright,
that.
so you guys exit the depot?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright, so the blast doors that are kind of surrounding the top of the depot slide over, and a bunch of sand just pours down. And instead of a ramp kind of descends from the top slowly, it's been many years since you guys have exited the depot.
Oh, wait, this is really important. Before we leave, I put on a little safari hat, and I'm wearing this khaki shirt. I'm like, yes, time to go out on a merry jaunt.
Adventure.
It's super tattered because it's been so many years.
Yeah.
And I've worn it a couple thousand times.
You've patched it up again and again using more and more desperate materials. It's got soda can wrappers as part of the fabric. It's
perfect.
That was me. I
yeah.
The patching.
He did the same.
Yeah. As you desperately tried to maintain your safari outfit. And you guys exit into the surface world of the planet you're on. It's actually called Dead Beef.
Dead Beef.
It's the reason it's called Dead Beef is because the planet is literally the hexadecimal value Dead Beef. It's just to give it
Dead Beef.
It was a complete coincidence that it happened to be Dead Beef.
Nice.
But it's the planet name.
I love it.
You guys step out of the surface world. The Dead Beef, the planet you're on, it's kind of a deserty planet. There's lots of shrubbery around, so it's not completely devoid of life. It's not like Mars. However, there's not a lot of life. It's pretty thick desert area. So you head out. You guys are kind of rolling along the sands. The sun's kind of beating down above you. Those of you with solar panels equipped, you're extending your solar panels for the first time probably in years. You guys do not get out much. And you're kind of rolling along or walking along or jetting along on your merry way. And you kind of jet out your way along for, a few miles until you get to the edge of what looks like kind of a relatively, the precipice of a small canyon. And at the the bottom of this canyon, which is maybe kind of 30 feet down from your position where you're standing right now, you see the crashed frigate. Kind of just laying in the middle of this canyon, and you see several gremlinites, the creatures that you kind of seen on your cameras a few times, surrounding the depot, stationed and standing around this spaceship. And it looks like they've covered the frigate in these large pieces of cloth, and these pieces of cloth have all sorts of markings painted on it. You're kind of difficult to discern from the distance you're at, but they've decked the place out, with their own stuff. No, these are the Gremlinites, 100% Gremlinites. The pirates haven't been down on the surface. You think in like years, like decades, probably. Yeah. Yeah. Also, quick note on what you guys know about Gremlinites. They're relatively primitive creatures. You don't know like a lot about their culture. However, you do know they fight a lot with a group of like spider-like creatures, who you have nicknamed Lothites. And they seem Lothites. Um, yes, of no relation to the D&D goddess Loth and spiders. The Lothites, kind of they viciously battle with these Gremlinites. It's pretty much one of the few things you know about them. Okay. Also, you do know, through your various sensors and a few drone runs you made, that the Lothites have like a relatively like large layer nearby, um, which is also sitting on a large quantity of methane. It's one of the methane, kind of mountains that's around this planet. I'm assuming you guys took like most of the useful scrap with you, and your power cells. If you guys wanted to leave your scrap and power cells, just let me know. All right. So you guys have 40% of the scrap and 40% of the power cells. So you have 4 power cells ish, or 5 power cells, I guess ish. Sure. 25 scrap. Sure, sounds good. This should take 40% of these scrap and power cells. Okay, sounds good. Yeah. A lot of the creatures on this planet are like a hybrid methane like carbon mix. Pretty unusual actually. So they've got a lot of creatures definitely do consume methane in addition to normal, carbon-based life forms. You do not on the depot, or you don't have any. If you did have any methane production, you would be able to create fuel. However, you depleted the methane mines that the depot was located over a while back. But there are, but yes, methane, if you wanted to get your hands on some, could be useful as fuel. All right, you guys are rushing the Gremlinites. What is your plan? Yeah, no. I mean, the ship is located at the bottom of the canyon, but if you wanted to like avoid it and go around, you could. The canyon isn't like that long, and and if you essentially, yeah, if you don't want to deal with like the freaking smuggler freighter, it wouldn't be too hard to get around it. Yeah, no, they've like literally posted around the ship itself and have stuff hanging like from the ships. They're definitely like camped out at the ship. Okay. Okay. So all right, so you guys are sending in the remote drone to scout out the gremlinites and see how they react? All right, so Josh, dispenses with his trash can lid drone, which kind of, folds itself up and develops a helicopter blade and starts, kind of coptering itself down into the canyon. Josh, how do you want to pilot this thing? What do you want to do? All right. So you get a little bit closer, and you see some more of the markings, around that they've kind of painted all over this thing. Go ahead and make like an analyze roll to see if you can understand like kind of what these markings mean and like why they set them up. Yeah, you're adding your analysis modifier. All right, you're having a hard time really telling like what this, freaking primitive culture is coming up with and why it has these weird markings. Probably mean nothing. Um, you have like that you, sure. So if you guys want to make analytics checks to see if you can understand what it is, go for it. All right. So you see you see lots of like pictures and the symbols they kind of like roughly like look like gremlinites. And you see a lot of them standing and like they're holding weapons. And you see like, a lot of stuff that looks like some sort of like maybe a crazy explosion or like there's lots of gremlinites like running away from some like, kind of disaster it looks like. And if you had to guess based on analyzing the culture and kind of like the potential like religious subtext of the markings, you would say that the gremlinites are guarding the site and they believe it to be dangerous. They think that there's some danger associated with this structure, and the team here is meant to protect it from anyone who would potentially activate this danger. Norman, make a analysis roll. All right, so Norman, you do, at the mention of like a methane like mine, and how it could potentially be located over it. You do kind of look like it seems like now that you kind of think about that, there are like kind of indications that potentially there was like a large explosion here in the past. And kind of putting two and two together, you think that maybe the freighter as it like crashed, it might have scraped and hit a methane vein and then like just set the whole thing up in fire and just kind of had a crazy explosion. So you predict that's potentially, you know, why the Gremlinites are so like fearful of this thing is because it created this massive explosion and they thought like the world was ending, and that's why like they're trying to make sure that never happens again. He's had this tape for like 100 years. So let me get your plan straight. Your plan is to expose the methane vein and then light it on fire. I'm just making sure I'm clarifying what the plan is. All right. Uh, Josh, can you make me a I'll say a you can make a dexterity roll, but yeah, just make a dexterity roll for, you know, your drone's sneakiness. All right. So as you kind of begin to recall your copter, a few of the Gremlinites, they see the drone, they point it out, and a few of them start to shout to each other. And you see the few of them gathering what looks like to follow the drone as you kind of bring it up over the ledge. The Gremlinites are kind of making a long way around to get to the top of the canyon, but like the canyon is not that deep, so they'll be there like relatively soon. Yeah, you guys are standing at the top of the edge of this canyon when the copter, yeah, the copter like kind of recalls, and the Gremlinites see it and begin like kind of circling to find it. A few of them. There's like 3 Gremlinites coming out to like figure out what this copter is and what's going on with it. Sure, you can try. What do you want to do? All right. All right, sure. So you have like a range of like I'm gonna say like I don't know, a mile maybe on this like drone. So you kind of and it requires like a decent amount of your attention in order to like actually like maneuver the drone. Like you can have it like stationary, but in order to actually like move it around, like you need to sort of, you know, you're not too multi-threaded. You only have a few cores. So it's definitely so yeah, you can give it to command to go forward. However, if it goes out of range, you won't be able to recall it. Sure, you can yes. So yeah, they were moving towards where you guys are. However, you can like move the copter somewhere else if you want them to go somewhere else. Sure. I'm gonna say make a make a freaking analysis roll. Just both sides. Yeah. Yeah. So you're like the drone like jitters like right above where you are, and you're like, wait, I probably shouldn't reveal this. And then like you send it away, but the Gremlinites are continuing on towards your position. They don't seem to have been fooled by the ruse. Um all right. Also, Also, to answer your question about Lulthites, they're not like super nearby, but there's a couple of miles away. You know there is a Lulthite lair. All right, I'm gonna ask you guys to make a stealth check to not be seen by these freaking Gremlinites. I'll say, hold up. Before all of you guys make a roll, I'm gonna roll randomly so that one of you makes a group stealth roll. Just so that you know, because otherwise it's kind of silly. Because of course one of you is gonna fail if all of you are rolling. So I'm gonna say Norman, re-roll whatever you roll before is fine. Don't count it. You are the group stealth roll for everyone. All right. So you guys are like, we should maybe go. And like, as you're saying that, like you're like preparing to leave. You guys are not used to like moving with haste. I'll be honest. You're used to doing things in your own time. You begin to like squeak away, and then like the Gremlins are just there, right near you. They grasp like these like cudgel-shaped objects and kind of start shouting at you guys. They look pretty fearful. And they're kind of just like yelling and looking at you and looking wild-eyed from like all of you guys. They're shouting, and looks like a few of them are shouting like towards like the towards the central spaceship itself, the freighter. One of you guys make a who has everyone can make analysis rolls. Actually, I'll have one person randomly make an analysis roll. Josh, or actually whoever has the highest analysis. Josh has good analysis. Yeah, between you guys, one of you guys can choose. Try to analyze their speech pattern. So, Josh, you were like, I'll be honest, you deleted your speech freaking pattern recognition software of like a while back in order to like, I don't know why'd you delete the software? You needed it for something else. And you dedicated, you know, some space in order to like so yeah. Yeah, honestly, your analysis of propane tanks is pretty like expensive. However, your knowledge of Gremlinite language is completely none. You guys have no idea what they're saying. Yeah, there was one. You were studying it deeply. Yeah, you guys used that a while ago. Uh, I mean, actually, their tone of voice, you rolled the natural ones. You have no idea. However, they are brandishing weapons at you, and they are like they seem hesitant to like advance on you. However, they're yelling at the spaceship, and it seems like more Gremlinites are coming out of the spaceship and coming towards you. So first there was three, and now there seems like a squadron of another three coming up to the side of the canyon. All right. All right. I'm gonna say that with that, battle is joined between you guys and the Gremlinites. So how we're gonna do battle? Everyone roll for initiative. Essentially, this will determine whether you go before or after the Gremlinites, and that's kind of how we're gonna do it. Yeah, everyone roll for initiative. No, you guys all roll for initiative. However, if you beat a 12 on a dexterity roll, so you just add your dexterity modifier, whatever it is, and if you get higher than, sure, we'll say 12 beats 12. Defenders or attackers win. So yeah, sure. So you go after the Gremlinites. Yeah, they're just before Gremlinites. There's only two groups: before and after Gremlinites. All right, so all of you guys, I'll be honest, it's been a while since you've moved a lot. All this moving, like you guys turned around and all of a sudden the Gremlinites were there. They're so fast. Well, wait. Oh, okay. So they got. Sure, I got you. Okay, so you guys are ready. You're paired. Do your whatever you want to do as you start these Gremlinites. All right. Standard power. Okay, I got you. That's not that's a 2d6 that counts like a scrap weapon. And your attack on that can either be your dexterity or your strength, whatever's higher. Okay. All right. So is that like? Yeah, the Gremlinites. Yeah, they're right in front of you. All right, you just kind of charge forward with your treads and you activate the plasma cutter, swinging it wildly or pressing forward to attack. Roll to attack. All right, the Gremlin. So your attack bonus is you add mods if you have any. I don't think any of you guys have attack mods. And for melee weapons you can add dexterity or strength. For ranged weapons it's just a dexterity. Yeah. Norman, are you dripping everywhere? All right. So unfortunately, Zack charges forth to freaking blast this thing with his welder. However, the Gremlinite, poor Otto, rather, yes. All right, Wreck bot. Let's see what you got. Reese, right. The spoons, yes. Do it. Do it. You won't. Yes. Your attack bonuses are unfortunately at a -1 penalty because of your armor. So it's 0. Yes. Yes. That does in fact hit. You slam into the freaking Gremlinite. He's not ready for your speedy assault. As you pull with the spoon, yes, with the rather large scrap-shaped spade-like object, you would hit the Gremlinite. Roll for damage. I think it's 2d6 piercing plus 1 from your strength. Yeah. Yeah. All right. The Gremlinite crumples underneath your fierce blow, lifeless in a heap. The remaining Gremlinites go. One of them is going to attack freaking Leonard, or rather Style Boy, and the other one will attack Josh, freaking Reese. He's gonna try and wreck you guys. So actually, you guys roll for your defense. I will roll for the attack of these guys. It's kind of like Hackmaster. Roll 20-sided dice, add your defense bonus, and tell me what you get. Your defense bonus is your dexterity. -1 if you have armor. Leonard and Josh are being attacked. Okay. So So, Leonard, what did you get for your defense? All right, you still managed to easily deflect the terrible freaking Gremlinite attack on a natural 1. The Gremlinite tries to charge you. You simply move to the left, and the Gremlinite rushes past you and falls to the ground, almost falling off the cliff, actually. All right, the other Gremlinite attacks Josh. Josh, you got a 4? Yeah, just add your dex or -1 if you have armor. Okay. All right, luckily this guy got a rock solid freaking 11 on his attack, so that definitely hits. Josh, you take a rock solid. You take 4 damage minus whatever your armor is. He kind of dinks into you a little bit. -2. -2. You have, yeah, because your armor. It's damage reduction. Yeah, so you have 2 damage reduction. All right, the other 3 Gremlinites show up. There are now 5 Gremlinites, and it is now Norman/Leonard's turn. Yeah. I'm gonna say you can try and hit multiple people with if you want. You can have a freaking shotgun spread doom cannon. All right, you just kind of doom cannon like the that uses 1 power, so you're now down to 4 power. I'm gonna say that instead of making a normal attack roll, I'm gonna say they all make reflex throws against roll a d20 for what the save is on this reflex throw. All right, 16. All right, so this is targeting 3 of them. The first guy's gonna try and get out of the way. Fail miserably. Totally hit by the doom cannon. Second guy also fails miserably. Third guy, the other 3 showed up. Yeah. So the third guy does manage to dodge out of the way. However, 2 of them do get hit directly. Norman, unfortunately, instead of your normal 2d12 though, they only take 2d8 damage because you had to widen the beam in order to hit a large area. Yeah, so 2d8 damage for both of them. Roll for damage. They are incinerated by the doom cannon. They do not survive. All right, Leonard, what would you like to do? You got your scissors and you're ready. There's only 2 of them left, I think. You know, always a solid choice. Roll for stabbing. Oh, you want to have dual wield scissors? Sure. I mean, you could have like 1 scissor blade in each hand. Yeah. All right. Roll for doom scissors, Leonard. Also, do you power up your scissors or no? If you power it up, it deals more damage. If you keep it non-powered, it counts as a scrap weapon. I mean, for now, essentially, it's just an energy weapon. If we want to get into more dual wielding stuff, we can. But he's got an energy weapon right now. If he decides to power it up, if you don't power it up, it's a scrap weapon. No, he just counts as 1 attack with an energy weapon. Or it's just a scrap weapon. All right. Unfortunately, Leonard, you try to attack the one that is prone. However, instead of dealing with the seeing as you advance, the Gremlinite throws itself off the kind of the cliff to try to scramble down the side of this hill into the spaceship itself. The other Gremlinite, as it is their turn, I believe, unless you guys are going. Wait, Josh and Zack, I think your character's up first. The one Gremlinite does manage to get off, where he's scrambling off the edge. The other Gremlinite looks pretty shaken. What would you guys like to do? Do it. Roll the spoon. Spoon of doom. See it. All right, you definitely freaking you spoon that Gremlinite. Minus. That's -1 with the doom cannon. Oh, scrap him. That's -2. How, wait. Well, Norman's got a slug thrower, doesn't he? Oh, you took you took the doom cannon and stuff. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you totally successfully spooned the Gremlinite. That does in fact kill the Gremlinite. Dude, just like well armed with all sorts of scrap. Is this second spoons or like a fork? Yeah. I gotcha. Whatever you need. All right. Yeah, I got you. Aldo, so what would you like to do? There's one Gremlinite left. Looks pretty shaken in this whole situation. All right, Arc Welder of Doom. Let's see it. Yeah. All right, you successfully freaking arc weld this Gremlinite. Yeah. All right, 6. All right, the Gremlinite is like pretty hurt and it's been severely scorched, like up and down its entire torso. However, as it reels back, it's not quite fallen to the ground, lifeless like its companions. It is now the lone Gremlinite's turn, who will take this opportunity to attempt to run for its life down the hill to save itself. I'm gonna say that Otto, you have an opportunity to attack it again as you're closest to it. The rest of you guys are unfortunately pretty slow moving, and we'll have to try and take pot shots at it as it's making its way down the hill. So, Otto, roll your attack as it tries to escape. All right. Luckily for you, this Gremlinite was not paying attention to its safety and rolled a 4 for its defense. You do in fact manage to hit the Gremlinite. That Yeah, basically this thing tries to run and you just like roll over it as it's like trying to get up and then just like arc welder it's like the back of its head. It's just done. Yeah, sure. The Gremlinites have tails. Yeah, they... All right. Yeah. So you've thoroughly trounced the freaking group of Gremlinites. You see a few more Gremlinites coming out of the cave or above the freighter, but seeing you guys in your impressive martial display and hearing the screams of their friends as they die, they quickly retreat back into the freighter itself. All right, you loot. The Gremlinites have 40 GP. No, Unfortunately, the Gremlinites possess nothing really more than like some kind of crude like clubs. You see that one of them has what looks like maybe like a kind of a piece of support struct from maybe the freighter itself that was damaged in the crash. There's like some potentially some interesting electronics there. And I'm gonna say it's worth like, I don't know, 2 scrap. That you guys could scrounge up if you had to. Okay. Yeah. You're compacting. Yeah, it's part of your. It, you have to make a weird like motion. Yeah, that's pretty much how you compact things. All right. All right. So you guys kind of roll around and try and come up to the base of the ship. Okay. As you guys roll around to the base of the ship, you see like a kind of like a lot of like, kind of as you come around as front like see the front face of the ship. The ramp of the ship has been like deployed. So the ship is like kind of it's like maybe like 25 meters long. So it's a pretty big ship. It's a pretty large freighter. It's kind of at the base of this canyon. Um, and you see the kind of the loading ramp at the back of it's been deployed, where the Gremlinites have been coming back and forth out of, and where the cargo is generally stored on the freighter itself. Um, and as you kind of round about to see it, you see that the Gremlinites have kind of a, like created a sort of like makeshift barricade with what looks like some like kind of old crates and other like kind of refuse they have lying around on the ship. And they're gesticulating at you wildly. A few of them, kind of are like, kind of like look like they're panicking. You see them running back deeper into the freighter. However, you see one of them. He pulls out a long cylindrical object, and even from this distance, you're pretty sure you recognize the telltale signs of what looks like some sort of laser weapon. And begins to open fire on you guys as you advance. I'm gonna say that this thing is like a turret, and it's kind of just like going. It's like automatically just like firing. Make dexterity rolls for me to try and dodge this thing as you kind of advance under fire. I'm gonna say if you roll 20, you can freaking do something cool if you want. Or, all right. Oh, sorry, 19 on the dice. All right, so everyone failed except for Josh, who took no damage as he managed to dodge the lasers expertly. However, for the rest of you guys, Norman, you take a laser. Oh, God. Norman, I hate to be that guy, but I just rolled this. These things deal D10 damage. I rolled a 10 and a 9. I'm afraid that as a laser directly hits your chest, you take 18 damage as half of your freaking like circuits are just fried on the spot. um, uh, you try to say this might be the end of me, but it comes out like slurred ecstatically, like this is my. Yeah, actually, you kind of your voice module for a second sounds literally exactly like Otto. Otto, you take 9 damage as you advance under fire from this thing, and Leonard, you managed to only take 1. You got lucky; it kind of just grazed you. Um, so, however, you guys managed to cover the distance. Norman is freaking Clove is heavily damaged. Um, the guy who's on the freaking like laser turret abandons it, and the few Gremlinites that haven't abandoned ship, there's maybe like 5 Gremlinites left. They stand and they rush you guys. I'm gonna say that because you guys have been advancing and because like they were like totally confident that freaking laser barrage was gonna work, you guys all go first. All right. In order to heal yourself with a field kit, you need like 5 minutes. Yes. I mean, you guys were literally like advancing under fire. You charge this thing as like a rain of lasers, like force going all around you. All right, so you charge in. The thing drops his like the laser turret, and he pulls out. They pull out their cudgel-like objects to attack you guys. I mean, the laser cannon. There is 5. Sorry, 5. Right. Yeah, do it. All right. So you try to charge him. Unfortunately, your character like isn't like that great at like climbing over things. You roll around on a ball. Uh, so you roll up the ramp and there's like this barricade, and like you try to like attack him with like your spoon. However, the guy just ducks behind the barricade and manages to avoid you. Um, and you're kind of like stuck behind it. Like, I don't know what I'm doing now. Okay. This is bad. All right. What are the rest of you guys? Well, I guess Norman / Leonard / freaking Otto. What do you guys want to do? Sure. So you charge up. Roll. Or or all right. All right. So I'm gonna say that Otto kind of like charges forth and tries to like plasma weld like one of the guys who's standing near the barricade. Otto does manage to break through the barricade and create like an opening. However, unfortunately, like as you know, the pieces of like freaking like plastic that like kind of like blow up around you, kind of like confuses yourself. Norman, or rather Clove / freaking Style Boy. What do you want to do? Oh boy, you guys are frozen. Rest in peace. Oh boy. All right. So I was in for a second there. It's awkward. Hello? Yeah, sorry, I froze for a second. Okay. Has what been what? Oh yes, that's been completely that the entire time, but I should ignored it. Yeah. It's only for AJ who has to deal with this. Yeah, you got kind of with all the shrapnel. All right, Norman, your freaking circuits have been fried. You took a freaking direct laser shot right to your freaking processing system and hurt a lot. Not yet, not until you enact a repair. All right, you just act. Do you just like activate your flight jets and just fly away? You just like a compartment opens in your chest, a la freaking Bender from Futurama, and you just dump everything and run. All right. However, you're gonna need that scrap to repair yourself. You can't repair yourself without scrap. You're gonna need however much damage you taken in scrap. Yeah, you're gonna need 19 scrap. Patch yourself up. Okay. Okay. Norman was carrying all the scrap, luckily for him. Okay. So you begin enacting a field repair on the side of this. All right, Leonard, what would you like to do? Also, you guys have one less power because you activated the flight jet. Just, heads up. What are you doing, Leonard? As freaking your hostess freaking bot for retreats underneath the heavy fire that he sustained. Can I see your manager? All right. Did you increase? Did you activate the energy weapon? All right. All right. It's yeah. Sure. So unless you kind of tell me you're activating it, then okay, sure. So then we have everyone's gone, and it's now the Grandma's turn. What'd you roll? Oh yeah, you totally freaking whiffed, man. I'm sorry. You charged in, you tried to follow freaking Otto, but Otto was flailing way too wildly, and you had to dodge him hitting you with his arc welder because you almost got hit by it, and you were like, Christ. And that's why you demanded to see freaking Otto's manager, because you almost got freaking fried. All right, so the Gremlin Knights, seeing you guys like relative incompetence, and also the fact they managed to make one of you retreat, they're emboldened by this. They feel like they can win this fight. They're going to rush forward at what looks like the most terrifying threat, which is the arc welder kind of flailing around wildly. And three of them are going to attack you. One of them is going to attack you, Leonard, and one of them is going to take this opportunity to attack you, Josh, as you're kind of standing behind the barricade, not quite able to get over it yet. All right, so three of them are attacking Otto. The first one attacks. Roll your defense, Otto. All right, 8. The first one managed to connect with its cudgel. The second one attacks. Roll your defense. All right, also connects with a cudgel. Third attack. Roll. All right, you do manage to block the final one. You parry it with your welder as the blow comes down. However, you unfortunately take 6. 9 damage from the first attack. Oh god, 7. So bad. They all pierce. Okay. 9 damage from the second attack as well. All right. Otto has unfortunately been incapacitated in the rain of heavy blows from the Gremlin Knights. All right. One of them attacks you, Leonard. Roll your defense. All right, you do manage to, in fact, parry. Rip. All right, you still managed to block it, but it was a lot closer. Yeah, you have a -2 to your defense. And what their defense bonus is. Yeah. All right, so Josh, one of them's attacking you. However, you receive a +2 bonus to your defense because this thing's awkwardly trying to hit you over a barricade, and it's kind of okay. And you roll a 2. All right, so you try to like drag yourself over the barricade in order to like see what's going on, and the guy's like right there, and it's like straight up like whack-a-mole. He just like whacks you like right in the freaking face. Yeah, of course. These guys roll 4s literally every time, and they freaking pierce. Okay, so he just rolled 6 for the first dice. Oh god, rolled a 4 again. 10. 11 damage. How do these guys do this every time? Yes, 11 damage overall. -2 from your DR. All right. Um, you guys are now up. Norman, you're repairing yourself? All right. You see you see Otto getting overwhelmed by the Gremlin Knights. It looks like the battle's going relatively sour for your friends. you're suddenly realizing that none of you guys are designed for combat, and you're. Oh boy. Okay, sure. All right. All right. All right. You fly. Uh, well, wait. You I mean you still the flight jets last like 20 minutes. You still have enough power to like get down from whatever you used last time. I don't know how much. All right. I'm gonna say that that works. However, your friends are kind of currently engaged in battle with them, so it's gonna be kind of hard to. You're behind the barricade. Otto's like broken down the middle of it. Um. All right. Sure. All right. All right. Norman, roll a d4 to see how many you manage to catch with your Doom Cannon. All right. It does not penetrate, unfortunately. However, all of you basically they all rush out after downing Otto to go trash freaking Josh. You just Doom Cannon them as they rush out to the break in the barricade. Um, so roll your Doom Cannon attack. Your spread scattergun thing. Also, how much power do you guys have? It's a save, yeah. So Norman sets the DC with his roll. Okay. Yeah. So Norman. All right. Sure. All right, Norman. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, I'm gonna reroll that last one because that's just BS. Okay, two of them rolled 19s on their save. You do Doom Cannon the hell out of two of them though, so roll 2d8 for damage. 4 damage total. All right, Norman. I'd like to say that killed them, but that'd be a lie. They totally survived. The freaking Gremlinites are pretty scorched though, and they're gonna make a morale roll after getting sort of incinerated. Actually, Norman, I'm gonna have you make a personality roll to see if you can intimidate these guys. All right. So they were like they're like pretty afraid at like this display of like awesome power. There's like a burst of light. They're like singed, like oh my god. And then you try to yell at them, and like you kind of like power down a little bit because you're so wounded, and like screeching comes out, and then the Grumenites just see weakness and they charge. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know whose turn it is, but sure, it's your guys' turn. Go for it. Yeah, go. Although you can make a durability roll to see if you can do something, even though you're completely conked out. But yes. All right, Otto, you're like conscious and you can like attempt to attack, but if you get hurt while you're in this state, it's gonna be bad. So it's up to you if you want to like risk it. All right. Yeah. All right. All right. You try and smack him. All right. It's gonna roll its defense, and it's gonna roll high enough that it dodges. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say. Actually, I don't usually roll for these. I guess I just roll for them arbitrarily. Sometimes I give them average. All right. But yes, the guy managed to dodge. I'm sorry. Leonard, you're up. All right, it's time. The scissors freaking whir with life. They look like twin lightsabers. It's like you're freaking that one dude from Star Wars with all those lightsabers. Count General Grievous. Yeah, I mean, It totally is good enough. You freaking impale them with light scissors. Roll for 2d10 on damage. All right, Leonard, here's what you do. You freaking open up these like scissors and they just like burst with light and you just like charge forward and you clothesline 2 of the gremlinites, just like instantly like cutting them in half with this like crazy freaking light scissors charge you just made. The gremlinites have been reduced, only 3 of them. However, you do lose 1 power. And keep track how much power you guys have because I'm pretty sure you've used basically all of it. Okay. The remaining gremlinites will go. Leonard, make a personality check to see if these things are scared of you. Run away. All right. I'm gonna roll for them and see how they do. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you rolled an 8 overall plus 2 for you. Yeah. The gremlinites, the remaining gremlinites, pack up their shit and run. They're over it. However dangerous this thing was. They're trying to run down the ramp away. So they're running past you. Yeah, you guys can take pot shots at them as they flee. All right. All right, everyone. All right, cool. Yeah, they completely run away and they disappear into the freaking brush of dead beef. All right, I'm going to reward you scrap and I'll reward you guys scrap and other stuff in a second. Tell you more about the ship. However, I need to go to the bathroom, so give me like 2 seconds.
Us through.
Oh, what the fuck? When did that happen?
We muted the mic?
Oh my god. Yeah, the mic muted. I don't know when that happened.
Oh, fuck me! Wait, that's why you should have AJ hearing us through this.
Through OBS?
No, through that.
Yeah.
Wait, so you guys have been muted this entire time?
Josh, it's the same. It was muted in OBS.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's real rough.
Wait, so the entire audio of the episode
Okay,
is
well,
dead?
we'll look back at the VOD.
Hopefully it's not dead for too long.
Oh, nice. Nice, what are these?
Cookie thins?
Sick.
They are cookies, yeah.
Yeah.
God
damn it,
like
dude.
an actual dinner, but
Well, at least they'll be able to hear AJ.
you know,
AJ's coming through the whole time. God damn it.
it's just me. It's cool.
Yeah, we'll have to look back at the VOD and see. Oh, man.
That's really rough, dude.
This is what happens when you have no fucking viewers.
That's so funny.
Also, why can I not look at concurrent or look at viewers?
It's so fucked up.
Oh, 3 viewers, and I can click that. Okay.
Old Daddy, if only you'd warned us of this tragedy.
You got, the good old electrical longboard, electrical skateboard.
Yeah, it's just us and then a bunch of bots, I think.
I mean, that's cool.
God damn it. God damn it! So bad.
What did that happen?
I think I accidentally hit something on the tablet remote.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it wasn't too long.
Yeah, I mean, with this, we should probably just have it like this.
Yeah,
Right?
until we want to tab
do
over.
something.
Alright, so we just finished
Recap up to now. We left the ship. We did some fighting.
If it was that long ago...
No, I think it was we just missed like some of the Doom cannoning, which is not a huge deal because it was mostly just us like waxing about what we should do, which is kind of rough because there's some funny things, but it shouldn't be too bad because AJ described a lot.
So. Yeah, they'll be able to hear AJ, so that's good.
Well, sorry guys.
No, it's okay
for now. All right, so you guys have successfully taken the freighter. I want to be quiet. There's people in this house. Okay. You guys have successfully taken the freighter.
Some good ASMR podcast.
Jesus Christ.
Set up.
And you see that the Gremlinites have decorated it pretty heavily. You kind of go through and you don't quite recognize the technology that's being used here. It's pretty different from your standard, human tech that you're used to at least. It looks like the metal is like some sort of alloy of like titanium that is like, you don't really see too much in spaceships. You don't recognize the language at all as well. You're kind of trying to interact with the various consoles of the ship. And you quickly realize, as you kind of analyze the various components of the ship, it looks like this ship, it is, it's a freighter class, meant to be carried around big things. And also the second thing you realize is that it's completely out of fuel, it looks like.
Damn it!
This thing has been drained some time ago, and it's just run on empty. Running on not even fumes. There's nothing. There's no consoles or lights or any power systems. However, the good news is, it looks like some of the cargo wasn't taken. And it looks like there's a lot of, you're not quite sure what these objects are, but there's some crates filled with lots of different, looks like maybe mechanical toys. You're not sure. They're like small metal figurines. But the good news is that they are scrap. And you guys probably get, I'm going to ask you guys to roll 2d20. Someone on your, over on your end, rolls 2 20-sided dice to see how much scrap you get.
Wait, who's got the best dice? Not Norman and not Leonard.
Maybe we already rolled it though. Yeah, I know. What did we roll?
Alright, what do you guys get?
What'd you get, Leonard?
16.
Oh, I got 5.
So we got 21, which is barely
over. So, the metal figurines, you don't understand all of them, but you understand enough that you can, kind of scrap some of the components, some of the electrical wiring. It looks like might be similar that you can, repurpose to use in kind of your machine. You also you see what looks like some sort of visual enhancement. Maybe it's a headset of some sort. It looks like meant to be worn on some sort of alien creature. And Josh, make an analysis roll.
18 plus 2, 20 overall.
All right, so you think this is maybe some sort of pilot's helmet made in the past, that you think you can maybe analyze, kind of what's the software running on this helmet, and potentially, incorporate that software into yourself. You're not 100% sure what that'll do yet, if you need more time to analyze it, but it could be beautiful.
Cool. Sounds good.
Can I ask a question? Am I still knocked out?
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
You need to be repaired.
Yeah.
You're conscious. And by that I mean your circuits still work.
Yeah, I guess I'll repair him to the best of my ability.
Okay. So how much damage have you taken?
I know I'm at -4.
So you've taken
-4. So
a lot.
So in order
27.
In order to heal to 1, it costs double scrap. So costs the journey from -4 to 1 is 10 scrap, and then the journey for the rest is 1 for 1 hit point for 1 scrap.
Ouch.
So I'm not sure how much that's costing, but that's how much scrap you guys are gonna have to freaking pony up.
That's 33 scrap.
I don't need to be full health.
You could start scrapping the ship itself, but if you start scrapping the ship itself, it might not be functional, and you might not be able to fly this thing.
Well, it's got no fuel.
Yeah.
Which is bad. I don't know what kind of fuel it takes.
Honestly,
it's
if you start stripping down the ship, you could probably heal you guys all up to full. It'll be a lot of scrap, but this thing will probably not be functional anymore.
Oh, we could go find the Adversite ship. I think that might be a better option anyways.
It's been buried.
Well, we should bring him at least to fucking 10, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be 20.
That's 20 scrap.
20 scrap. And I should be brought up to 10 as well, which is 6. So we can use 26 scrap to heal us to both.
And we have that, right?
Yeah, we have that.
Okay.
That'll leave us at 12 scrap, though.
So we're at 12 scrap
and
using our reserves. Do these goblins have anything? I like that laser turret.
Yeah, I want that laser turret.
Yes, they do have a heavy laser blaster and 1 fuel and 1 power cell on that heavy laser blaster.
Good. So we have 2 power and a blaster.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
I want that blaster.
You want the blaster? Okay. Even you have -2 dex. You do not get a blaster.
Man, why not?
Because we're giving it to someone that actually has competent dex.
Mine's
Everyone
0.
gets +0.
Oh, okay.
Everyone, the max we have for dex is +0.
Okay.
All right, can you guys make someone make an analysis roll?
You want to do it since you have +2 analysis?
You're healed.
Yes.
Oh, I am?
You're healed.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it takes a little while for it to happen, but yeah.
7?
7 overall.
All right, 7 overall analysis. Seems like a normal spaceship to you. Nothing out of the ordinary here.
Cool.
That's what I tell you guys.
Wow, this spaceship seems very awkwardly normal, huh?
It's like cool. It's a spaceship.
It's like, it's okay, buddy. We're getting you back to normal.
Yeah.
You suffered some damage.
What happened?
Well, I think that we should scrap this sucker down and return it to our base.
You guys want to scrap the ship down?
We could just take the. Could we just take the warp drive and then put it in our ship? Fit it to our ship.
So you want to try to retrofit the warp drive to your supply boat?
Yeah.
This is like possible. Like you might be able to like rig something up, but it's gonna be like really ghetto.
I can do it.
Yeah, like this is like it's gonna literally it's gonna work. You're gonna be able to get to the next star system, but like an exposed warp drive is just like incredibly volatile. Usually like requires pretty complex casing, so like the radiation of a nearby star doesn't like affect your warp drive. You could like rig something up and hope it works, but it's gonna be dangerous.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that we just scrap, because the thing is, like, if we just leave, they're just gonna bring more dudes back.
Man, I would rather not die,
Yeah, so I think that we should just scrap this thing.
And then figure out how to...
Alright, do you scrap it and like take the warp drive and just run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so scrapping this thing down for like parts, I'm assuming you try to move relatively quickly because you're not sure when the Gremlinites are going to be back, so you're just getting like whatever easily accessible wiring you could just like tear out of this thing. I'm going to say that you get maybe 50 scrap and 3 power cells, just like turning this thing to freaking rubble.
And a warp drive.
And a warp drive. And you guys just bail out carrying that thing on your back.
Okay.
And you managed to make it back to the supply depot. I'm going to say, actually roll... we'll say someone freaking Leonard, roll a sensors roll.
19.
Alright, you spot a freaking Gremlinite patrol with significantly reinforced Gremlinite patrol coming back towards the frigate. However, you spot them from a fair distance off, so you're able to avoid them without too much difficulty.
Damn.
And you guys make it back to the supply depot.
Cool.
So,
okay, cool.
That was a net positive, except for the fact that now I look like shit.
Yeah, your safari shirt's all ripped up. Because you got beamed.
Alright, so wait. So we did heal them. So now we're trying to do like a full heal, though, because we're back at the supply depot?
Yes. So how the full heal works is you pay half of the cost of your field repair to heal that damage, and then you pay 1 for 1, same as scrap, to heal up to full. So those of you who received field repairs, which, while in this case wasn't necessary, could potentially have been necessary, you have to pay off half the cost of the field repair, and then it's like normal healing. In other words, that's essentially how permanent healing works. It also takes a few hours now.
Bring the hive up, and would they be able to repair us at reduced cost?
So Hive would be able to repair you, however, for a permanent repair, it would be like the same cost, essentially. But if you were out in the field, Hive would be able to repair you even without access to an advanced toolkit, and would be able to perform temporary healing. However, for the long-term repair, the costs are pretty constant.
Okay. Well, we should heal up, because we have tons of scrap right now, so... I need to pay 3 plus 13. And you need to pay 5.
You said it's half cost for the field repair amount?
So however much you were healed in the field, you pay half of that, and then you also pay 1 for 1 for any remainder of healing.
Yep, and then you were healed for 10, right? 10 scrap.
Yeah.
How much do you have left to heal?
13.
13? Okay, so 5 plus 13, so that's... 26.
So then what is what happens, what's the point of, we've taken field damage?
So the reason you'd want to use field healing is if you're planning on continuing and fighting in the field, and you're gonna need that healing right now. You don't have a few hours and access to an advanced repair bay. In this case, I can just waive the field repair kit for now, fee, because maybe you guys didn't recognize that's kind of how the healing worked.
Oh, okay.
So usually the field repairs are supposed to be if you desperately need healing right now, you slap something together, but because you're relying on this slap together half job, it's gonna cost you more later down the line for total repairs.
Sure. Okay. So right now we have 70 scrap at home and 12 power. So we net gained 10 scrap from that fight.
Did we get any solar power while we were out?
So whoever has solar power, I'm gonna say you guys gain 1 power each of just refueling your fuel cells.
So I got one.
I got one as well.
So then we have 20 or
14 power and 70 scrap. So that was actually a net gain.
However, we also lost the potential of having a ship.
The freighter is no longer an option. However, you have a warp drive.
Yeah,
we do have a warp drive. We could try to retrofit it.
You could slap it to the supply boat, but the supply boat is not. This is not what the supply boat was made for. This is going to be some serious freaking work on your mechanics end.
Maybe we should go to the Adversite.
How are we going to dig it up, though?
Dude, I've got
an idea.
Some shovels.
If we made my tank treads into paddles,
we could just dig the sand out.
Yeah, it took a really long time.
I'm just imagining a freaking a windmill or a water wheel.
Yeah,
spinning down.
Yeah.
It's put the warp drive on me, and I'm
just gonna warp the sand out of there.
Plastic.
Yeah, I'm sure that we could come up with something to help us dig it out.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of just random scrap. So if you want to describe how you make a freaking I don't know, backhoe, to dig stuff out, you can.
I mean, yeah, I think that's a reasonable. Can you build us a back? Can you build us a backhoe? My voice has changed because I took so much damage.
Yeah, I can. I can build you a backhoe.
Or can you turn yourself into a backhoe?
I am a backhoe.
I thought you were a side hoe.
All right. So I'm gonna say that are you trying to build? Also, I don't know how late you guys want to go. We can call it whenever you guys want. Just making sure that
I don't have anything to do tomorrow, but Zack,
the biggest thing is Leonard needs to go to bed at a certain point.
midnight.
At about midnight.
So yeah, but we don't want to keep you up forever either, AJ. This is a.
I do have work tomorrow. It's true. However, we can go a bit longer.
Okay.
So this is a prime opportunity, auto, to use a skill, and we haven't actually interacted with that mechanic at all. And I'm gonna say this is a mechanics roll. Like I said in the beginning, you guys all have 5 skill points, and just during the course of play, you can decide when something is like a skill you have, and you can basically buy that skill. So because you're a mechanic, I'm gonna say you probably want something like mechanic like 2, as like your skill level. And how that works is to buy the level of mechanic 1, it costs 1 point, and to buy the level of mechanic 2 points.
You're gonna.
So Grant.
You're gonna have to say that again.
Yeah, say it one more time.
All right. So essentially, how buying skills work is.
We heard that. We heard that. It's just the cost.
Okay, the cost of buying a skill is the level of the skill you're buying, and you have to buy it sequentially. So to buy level 1 in a skill, it costs 1 skill point. To buy level 2 in a skill, it costs 2 skill points.
Yeah.
So from 0 to get to level 2, it costs 3 skill points total.
Okay. And we have 5 for the entire campaign.
You have 5 per session, so you guys should be like using these like relatively often to level up your random skills. Because each session you'll have your you'll have 5 new points allocated, and you have your old points carry over. But
I kind of want to go straight to a level 2.
Yeah,
sure, that sounds reasonable. Yeah. So you spend 3 skill points on this thing, and you now have 2 skill points remaining for the rest of the session.
So mechanics, or mechanic, I should say.
And now you have mechanics too. And I'm gonna say this backhoe that you want to build, or this digger, it costs 50 scrap. Minus 1d20, minus 1d20 plus whatever, plus your mechanics roll. So you reduce it by your roll essentially. So roll your mechanics roll to see how much this thing's gonna cost.
Come on, baby. 6.
So plus 2. So
it's 8.
42.
It's gonna cost 42 scrap to build this thing.
Can I potentially?
I feel like I would also have mechanic skill. So
as a next level assistant mechanic.
Yeah, basically. So
sure. I'll say like you can try to assist freaking auto here, and you can reduce the cost. You're like an assistant mechanic.
Yeah.
So you can reduce the cost by like 1d10 plus your mechanics roll.
Okay. So yeah, I took mechanics 1, and then here is d10. So minus 10.
32.
All right, so that's pretty dang good.
So 32.
Yeah, I think that's
all right.
reasonable.
So that is the final cost of the digger you guys have built, which is kind of like this, like kind of crude-ish, kind of vehicle that Otto is able to pilot and dig with.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like we should do that. All right. All right. So we used 32 scrap.
We only have 38 left.
Oh, jeez. Rick.
All right. The digger is going to, I'm going to say, take 1 power in order to just like drive over to. It's kind of a big unwieldy machine.
We should take more power than 40%.
Yeah. We'll just take 7 power.
Okay.
Also
50.
Yeah, that's fine. It's going to take 1 power to drive this digger over to the the Adversite crash site.
Okay.
We have 6 at home and
okay.
7 with us, and we'll take 50% of this. So we have 19 at home and 19 with us.
All right, you guys are sitting on a solid 19 scrap.
Oh, God. Okay.
No one die.
No one die.
All right, so you guys are driving along.
Oh shit! I should prepare myself.
Okay.
You didn't prepare yourself?
No.
Oh, you should do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually took a significant amount of damage. I took 11.
Yeah, sure. Fix yourself.
So if I didn't do field repairs,
it's just plus 11 to fix. Yeah.
It's just plus 11.
Plus 11.
Okay.
Yeah. So usually it's in your best interest to wait until full repairs because it's cheaper. However, you run the risk of like dying.
Yeah.
If you get like more fights.
Okay.
So that's the downside of that. Okay.
All right, so we have 14 strength with us and 7 power. We have a lot of power. We're ready to dig the shit out of this shit.
We'll drive that power.
All right, so head over.
I'm assuming you guys left the warp drive. Okay.
Yeah,
we absolutely left the warp drive.
I tried to tinker with it for a little bit, but I was like, "What the hell? This is not good.
What the hell are we gonna put?"
All right,
this
do you
thing
really
on?
mess with the warp drive?
Yeah.
All right, roll a 20-sided dice for mechanics checks, Josh.
Oh, jeez. I mean, I wasn't trying to put it in or anything. I was more like trying to mess with it.
I mean, just like poking it and prodding it and like doing stuff with it.
Shit.
Yeah, it triggers this.
So I'm gonna
10
get really
overall?
mad at you right now.
That's
All
a
right,
10.
you hear the warp drive like beginning to power down, and you freak out and back up, and it powers like off again after like it was like starting to power up, and you're like, yeah, this is probably not a good thing to mess with too much.
Okay.
Yeah. Luckily, you didn't open a warp gate like on your head. It could happen. So.
Okay.
10 out of 10 would not recommend. Okay, so you guys drive the digger over. I'm gonna roll freaking Leonard. You're the official scout because I'm randomly determined it. Roll your sensors to see if you can avoid any freaking dangers on dead beef.
7.
So there's a creature. It lives on dead beef. It's a carnivorous lizard creature. It's one of those methane carbon-based life forms that I mentioned earlier. It's kind of a rather large lizard-like creature, maybe 4 or 5 meters in length. It's big. It kind of maybe stands maybe like 2 meters in height. It's kind of large, almost like crocodilian. And you guys run into one, and it's towards the end of the day, and it's basking in a clearing, and you kind of just walk into it with this digger, and this creature, which you guys have like seen a couple of them before, it kind of rolls onto its belly and like fixes to stare at you with its kind of beady yellow eyes, and it's like a freaking big lizard. What would you guys like to do?
Well, it's carnivorous.
Yeah, it doesn't eat.
It doesn't eat robots, so I mean, we could
This thing does not eat.
We could possibly just scare it away. Do you have like a way of intimidating?
I can make my voice louder.
Yeah, you might want to just like fucking yell at this thing.
Yeah,
to try to scare it off.
Sure, I make I don't want to like use my flight jets. Oh yeah, I do have. I can use a skill.
Yeah, you could just get points to intimidate.
Yeah, sure. I'll get points to like. Do we want like intimidate and persuasion, or should we just have like force of will?
I'll say like intimidation for its own skill, just to be scary. Yeah.
I'll take intimidate 1.
Sure.
And the reason why I have that is because intimidate is because like at the diner sometimes the army people would get a little drunk, and they need to intimidate them.
Unruly,
a little unruly, drunk and disorderly, and so I'd have to run in.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
All right, so roll to yell down this freaking giant lizard.
Oh, God. 14 overall.
All right. So the lizard, as you begin like shouting out it loudly, and you kind of blast your speakers up as far as you can, they kind of stutter a little bit because of the damage you've taken, but the audio comes out relatively clearly. And I'm assuming you're kind of just making like a piercing shriek, unless you're saying any actual words. You're just kind of like shrieking at this lizard. And the lizard does not like run away, but begins like trumpeting back at you, and it kind of like acting kind of like pretty aggressive. Like it kind of like makes like a bellowing, like almost like a crocodilian hiss. And kind of like swishes its tail back and forth. And kind of like, it's not like it backs up like a little bit, but it's like looks like it's kind of somewhat holding its ground and like kind of like hissing at you as you screech at it.
Well, I've seen this kind of behavior before. Clearly, I need to go harder, and I just start bellowing and I say, "All right, everyone together now! Time to bellow!"
All right. Roll all you 20-sided. Roll a 20-sided dice, Norman, and I'll say that you get like a freaking +3 bonus because you got I'm assuming everyone bellows with you.
Yes, we all bellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 17 overall?
All right.
Hold on, Sarge. Let me get this tape affixed nice and tight for this one.
All right, you guys all start shouting at it, and if for a moment it like lunges very close to Norman, and like almost freaking like snaps at him, but Norman just kind of stands his ground and continues bellowing, and eventually this freaking lizard like thing like slinks back and kind of like retreats from your path as you kind of continually bellow at it to back off as you drive your way through.
Sweet.
You've successfully scared off the rather large lizard.
You've solved my rather large lizard puzzle.
All right, so you guys continue on your way. You're uninterrupted for the rest of the way, and you get to the freaking Adversite crash site, and you begin digging. It takes, I'm gonna say that it takes like maybe a power's worth of digging to dig down to kind of the base of the ship, and you expose the tail end of the ship, which is kind of where the thrusters of the ship kind of, I guess, expel freaking jets. It's like kind of the back thrusters of the ship is what you expose as you kind of dig downwards. What do you guys want to do? It's kind of at this point it's gotten pretty dark. The day cycle on freaking Dead Beef is it's kind of like 14-hour days, 14-hour nights. But kind of you're getting towards the end of the day cycle.
So I guess we need to get into the ship.
Oh god. Yep.
So can we analyze the condition of the ship?
Sure. So make an analysis roll for me to try to see if you can freaking, I don't know,
13
do
overall.
some stuff. All right. I'm gonna say that you send your you have your freaking drone. It's very it's got a lot of different utility, and it can also burrow. I'm gonna say. So you send your freaking drone to burrow into the sand to kind of go around the ship and ascertain the damage. It looks like there's relatively extensive hull damage to the ship. This thing's taken quite a beating as it crashed in. And besides that, you can send your drone in, but from the outside, looks like the thrusters are somewhat damaged. It's taken pretty severe hull damage as it crashed, and it's also got some it's most of the damage you've seen. Looks like the forward panels that are they're kind of the glass panels or their space glass panels have been shattered. So you guys don't need freaking life support, so you guys don't care if you're exposed to vacuum space, but it's kind of ghetto.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, couldn't we? The ship is obviously very large. We only need enough space to hold us and the rest of the drones, 5 other ones. We could pare it down a bit, right? Make it a bit smaller.
That's not a good idea.
Yeah, what's your idea?
Well, we don't need all the hull, right? We could just, jettison the life support system, scrap it and make more hull out of it, and, cut off the pilot's seat. We don't need that. We could just jack right in, right? Yeah, I don't know anything about ships. I'm just saying stuff, but
He throws in the word indubitably a few times.
Indubitably!
We can indubitably strip the ship. Indubitably.
Ship's hull, per se.
Per se.
Per se, we pare the ship down a bit indubitably. Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much exactly the word-for-word quote from your.
All right. Can we find a way into the ship from the outside?
So you can keep digging. It's gonna take some more power, but it'll eventually expose this thing. It's kind of a long thing.
The hole with the cutter.
You can cut open into it,
Yeah.
Just
you're gonna hurt the rear thrusters.
Well, we're at the rear
that is
thrusters,
not
so we don't want to open a hole.
The rear, do we have rear thrusters on the supply, the cargo ship that?
You do have rear thrusters, but they're not the same class of ship, so they're much smaller. So the rear thrusters would be pretty weak on a ship of this size.
Wow, so this is bigger than the cargo
This is
ship.
Significantly bigger than the supply boat. Yes.
Wow.
Damn it.
That's why it's gonna take a long time to dig this thing out. This thing's big.
How much more power
It's
do we estimate it'll take to dig the whole thing out?
I mean, digging the whole thing out would take an inordinate amount of energy. However, I'm assuming you try to just kind of expose some of the main hull and then maybe cut your way through there, and so you're not kind of going through the thrusters.
Yeah.
But even doing that will probably take at least like 1 power's worth of, freaking digging, potentially more.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, all of our resources need to go into this ship, right? Because the whole point is
also,
we're trying
Josh,
to leave.
Make a roll, analysis roll.
That's a 5 overall.
Shit.
Yeah, everything's pretty normal. Nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's continue digging.
Okay, cool. So you guys, you continue digging, and you eventually kind of, I'm gonna say, roll a freaking digging check. I don't know that freaking strength, I guess. Roll a strength check, Otto.
Nice.
14.
All right. I'm gonna say that it just takes 1 extra power. There's no further complications.
Okay.
And you managed to expose most of the top hole of the ship.
Okay.
Cut it.
Yeah, let's get in there.
Yeah, we'd like to go inside the
All
ship
right.
now.
So roll a 20-sided dice, Otto.
Wait!
7.
7.
As he's cutting into the ship, I say, wait!
Wait, we're actually cutting it? Like,
Right.
was that roll to cut?
Yeah.
Roll to cut.
That was not a roll to cut.
Oh.
That was not.
That was a different roll.
That was in fact. That was a different hard drive roll. In fact, and why are you
Wait!
saying wait, Norman?
I don't think we should cut into the ship. We were worried about automatic distress signals. If we damage the hull further, it might send one out.
So mine's actually -1 from that 7, so it's a 6.
I mean, as far as you're tell, it's freaking metal. You can cut through this thing, no
I
problem.
can cut through this thing, no problem, dude.
Yeah, but he's right that we might not want to cut into the hole.
Well, it's been damaged before, and no other ships have came here. Wondering what
Otto, will you make an analysis roll for me?
That's me.
Sure.
No,
Auto.
Oh, hello.
Nice.
17 plus 2, 19.
You're reading like some weird heat signatures from this ship. Something on the ship is much colder than it should be.
There we go.
It's colder?
Much colder.
Okay, guys, this is very weird, but there's a cold spot on the ship.
Well, it's in the ground, right? The ground is cold.
Yeah, but this is abnormally colder.
This isn't just your normal, average, everyday coldness. This is advanced coldness.
Yes, that is the exact assertion of the situation.
I actually say that. I actually say this is advanced coldness.
Dare I say it? It's advanced.
Well, what do we know about the Adversites?
So roll a hard drive check, Norman.
Okay. That is a 13 overall.
Better be.
So so remember, you guys recall that this was a troop transport Adversite ship. So it was primarily intended to transport Adversite's troops into battle over long distances. Adversite warriors have relatively short lifespans because of their the massive mechanical structure that surrounds their bodies is relatively harsh on their kind of organs. So during periods of downtime, like during spaceflight, they're often kept in cryostasis tubes in order to increase their total lifespan. If you had to guess, you might suspect that the cryostasis tubes have something to do with the cold spot that Otto is detecting on the ship.
So you're saying that these guys might actually wake up if we penetrate the hole, Otto?
You didn't hear that from
Norman?
Yes. I mean, I postulate indubitably that there's cryogenic tubes that they are stored in, and I don't think we should cut into that.
Maybe we should cut right where those pods are.
Kill the snake from the head, or so they say. Kill the snake from the tail, or so they say. It's just completely wrong.
I think you mean...
Indubitably.
Yeah, indubitably.
We could do that. Could we do like an analysis check on like where the main line for the cryogenics pods are?
Sure,
Try
go
to cut
for it.
that.
Roll a 20-sided dice to try and analyze where this.
Could that be a mechanics roll?
AJ? Doesn't matter if it's analysis. It's the same thing.
It's the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm
9
I'm gonna say it's not quite a mechanics roll because it's kind of like knowledge of like freaking Adversite ships. What do you get overall?
11.
11. All right. So if you're having a hard time determining like exactly like where the freaking cryogenic systems are being stored, but you're pretty sure there's only after that roll, after you you try to run as much analysis as you can, there's only actually what looks like one cryogenic pod still active. It's still functional. However, you know that Adversite warriors are incredibly dangerous. Were you to activate one, it would be bad.
Maybe we could, if we do activate it, we could tell him that there was a distress signal that was sent, and we're here to help him.
Can we even speak the
Even
language?
though we're military robots.
So your plan per se.
So like we're not disguised at all, but.
So roll a 20-sided dice auto for hard drive.
So
6, 5, yeah.
All right. Everyone else can roll too. Sure, just as a
for hard drive.
Let's just do whoever has hard drive the most.
That's a nat 20.
Yeah.
Norman's got it.
Dude, Norman, you actually worked in a Adversite translation service.
Yeah.
You speak fluent Adversite.
Fuck yeah.
Write that
down. Mods. Speaks. No. Where does that go? Skills. Adversite.
So, yeah, if you want, we could do that.
Speakage. Yeah. Let's try it. Cut away! And if he awakens, I'll talk to him. Tally ho!
Yeah.
Post haste! Indubitably!
Reese?
Per se!
Style boy?
Style boy.
Cut it?
You have the fucking laser.
Oh, I'm just asking if you wanted me to cut it.
Just cut it.
Alright, so you guys cut into the side of the hull?
Yes.
Alright, as you begin cutting through the side of the hull, power to the ship systems flickers to life. It appears that you have, in fact, activated an emergency reservoir of power on the ship. You hear the cryogenics tube destabilizing as it, kind of powers down, and the tube slowly opens as you finish your cut. You enter into the side of the ship on a hole down into the ship, and you see a rather large ogre-like, Adversite warrior. These things are like very tall. They're like 8 feet tall. They have like massive armor, like all across their body. They look kind of like a cyborg, freaking ogre-like thing. It's kind of dripping like blue goo from the cryogenic pod it just stepped out of, and it's freaking covered in just like freaking all kinds of sharp barbs. You see a freaking what looks like a gnarly-looking cannon built into the side of its arm. And it steps forward and it raises the cannon as it stares at you, and the cannon begins to power on. And it just says, 2 simple words that only Norman can understand. And it says, question, purpose.
Hello, good sir, I say in fluent Adversite. We were sent here to... Well, shit, what was the plan? We were sent here to tell you failed! And I tried to intimidate him to power down. And we are very ashamed of you! I just totally forgot what the plan was.
Roll a 20-sided dice, Norman.
Oh shit, that's a 10 for intimidate.
Yeah, that's like freaking minus a bazillion. Yeah, no, this thing is not having, any of your crap. It just says enemy detected, animation, initialization.
Oh my god.
Doom cannon!
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This thing's freaking mean. I don't know what you have just freaking in your back pockets that I don't know about, but you're gonna want to pull it out. Adversite warriors are gnarly. Roll for initiative.
Jesus.
Say we just run.
Oh!
Wow.
2.
That's a 9.
What's
his
initiative?
first? Well, yeah, what are we trying to roll?
Actually, no, screw initiative. You guys just go first. You need all the help you can get.
I doom cannon him!
Roll the Doom Cannon.
And this is like a focused Doom Cannon,
You got the gun, yeah?
I mean, I have it.
Yeah. That's a 10 overall to hit. Shit.
Alright, this thing, you hit it. It's freaking big. It doesn't try to get out of the way.
Sick. For the full 2d12 damage.
Yes.
Thanks. Okay, fuck. That's 5.
Yeah, it just like freaking slams into like its like shoulder. It doesn't even like
so bad.
It doesn't even like recoil from like
the
damage.
Didn't even beat average for a single d12.
I know.
Jesus,
with 2 of them.
Yeah, roll. Josh, what do you do? Or freaking wreck. I'm not gonna lie, you're a freaking robot, so you're not programmed to feel fear. But you are currently analyzing this situation is very dire, and you're not sure how you feel about it.
I feel like we're gonna die. Yeah, sure. I'll open fire with the heavy laser cannon.
Roll it, Josh. Roll it.
That's a 19.
Modified. You freaking
unmodified. Natural 19. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna say that you shoot it 100%.
Okay, so how much damage does a laser cannon do?
It deals 2d10 damage. You have 3 shots per power you use. I'm gonna say that, you know.
Yeah.
You're on your first power, I guess.
Where's my d10? 2d10, huh? Well, that's a 9.
Yeah.
And that is a 3. So that's 12 damage.
Alright. Thing's taking 17 damage. You freaking slam into a few lasers, and, you know, it again doesn't look very affected.
Oh my god.
You guys are up. What do you want to do, Leonard / Auto?
I'm gonna overpower my plasma cutter, and I'm gonna use...
Alright, so you activate overpower, you activate overclock, and you activate overpower on your plasma cutter?
Yeah, both of them.
Oh shit, okay.
Alright, so you use 2 power.
We have 1 power left.
To attack.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
That's
okay.
fine.
That's fine. Just use it.
We need to do it.
We need to use it, yeah.
Roll? Yeah?
Yeah, roll the attack.
Okay. Oh! So I have a modified 3?
It's a natural one.
Roll the 20-sided dice to not confirm critical failure.
Oh no!
That's another 1.
Kill me, AJ. Just do it. Oh no! I over.
Roll another 20-sided dice.
Okay. Stop. Here, roll this one. Holy shit.
Oh god. Okay,
13.
13.
Wow, that was
whoa, so
close to another 1.
It's just a normal critical failure, not an Omega Ultra critical failure, luckily for you. Okay. So, you charge forward with your plasma torch to try to freaking slam into this thing. Unfortunately, it just like steps to the side and you just charge right past it, and there's an open crate behind it, and you slam into the back of the crate and the top of the crate falls down, and you are just now stuck in a box.
So I'm safe though.
You are safe, but you're also stuck in a box.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just
so,
like
Josh.
No, it's Leonard. Yeah, Leonard's turn.
Leonard, you're up. Leonard, what do you like to do?
I'm gonna power up my scissors.
You hear that?
No. And
It's like
charge at
fucking
it.
glass breaking.
I don't know. I didn't hear it.
Powered up scissers.
That's it. No more energy.
So we
That's
just used all of our
sad.
energy on nothing.
That's okay. That's the way it goes. You're powered up for a while though, so you get that +2 for a while, which is good.
Oh yeah, what does overclock do?
Okay.
It's +2 to attack.
Overclock is +2 to all rolls, including damage, for 5 minutes.
Okay, which is quite a few rounds. So it's turn.
Yeah. Alright. It fires its version of the Doom Cannon at freaking Norman, because Norman was talking to it. Norman, roll your defense roll.
What's my defense modifier?
Oh boy.
Your dex.
It is it's your dex.
Okay. 4.
-1.
No, 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
Modified 4.
This thing freaking slams into you with the Doom Cannon, Norman.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie to you. It freaking hurts.
He could kill me.
It's alright. Norman's the one that fucked up, so...
Yeah. Normally you take 14 damage as you get freaking massive...
That wasn't even that bad.
Fire just slams into you, and this thing, it steps forward, and it gets kind of, like, pretty close to you. It begins advancing on you guys. And in its freaking...
It's running away from Otto.
Yeah. It's turning out. No, it's ignoring Otto. It's just like advancing on you guys with its like freaking arm outstretched with a massive cannon attached to the top of it, getting pretty much right in your face. As you guys like open fire on it, it's ignoring your fire and just like moving towards you. At a freaking walking gait. It is now your guys' turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, 1 second. I got an idea. I want to try to cut off the cannon.
With scissors?
With scissors.
I was gonna say, I could try to, like, disassemble the cannon. Like, use my drone to, like, pester it, and then just, like, fucking get in there and try to, like, rip shit out.
Yeah, I attempt to grapple him.
Sure. Roll to strength, just wrestle him down. Whatever your strength is.
Bad, but that's okay. That's a 9.
Alright, you try to grapple it, and he just like as you fly towards him, he just like picks you up, and he just like hurls you directly into the ground, just kind of slam into the ground,
right.
And it's like, he just freaking punts you with his other foot across the room, you slam into the far wall. You take a freaking solid, you take 4 damage as you freaking get punched across the room.
Okay, sure. I tried to help you, Josh.
Alright. Norman kind of rasps that out from across the room. Try down.
I tried to help, good sir. Tally ho, per se, indubitably.
All right.
He just starts like repeating the word indubitably as he takes more and more damage.
Indubitably.
So I want to like just kind of like send my drone and charge with my drone like deploying.
Right.
And it just like with the very basic command of just like run into this thing.
Okay, so your drone starts getting up in this freaking thing's face, and it's like, roll your, what is this? You can freaking, this is an analysis, I guess, sure. You know, freaking run some crazy freaking...
Alright, so 17 overall.
Alright, that's pretty, it's actually pretty effective against this thing. Kind of the adversary, like, warrior looks pretty flustered, just like pawing at it in the air. The doom cannon that he's holding powers down for a second, and he seems momentarily distracted.
Okay, and then I'm going to charge up and try to disable his cannon completely.
Alright, the freaking Adversite is moving around its arms, but you can try to make a dexterity roll to quickly like disable the thing. So roll the 20-sided dice, and then roll an opposed check, trying to...
11.
Not. Alright, luckily for you, it rolled a 5. It was pretty distracted, so you're able to quickly grab its arm and like freaking perform a swift cut, and the doom cannon drops heavily to the floor.
Sick.
Wield it.
And it is now freaking Otto's turn. Otto, you're in a box. What do you want to do, man?
I'm gonna cut this box open.
Alright. You spend your turn, and I'm gonna say you successfully cut the box open.
Oh, cool!
Alright, freaking Style Boy, what do you want to do?
Go cut him!
Grab that doom cannon.
That's 14.
Alright, so you roll 14. Yeah, that hits. You freaking slash into him with your electricity lasers. You're like freaking... Yeah. It's taken 17 damage so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 damage.
Damn it. That's fine.
So, yeah, you just freaking taking 27 at this point. It's looking a little bit more hurt, but it's still like in like surprisingly good fighting shape despite how much damage it's taken. And it is now, I believe, its turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got kicked across the room, so I have nothing to say about that.
Alright, Josh, after you send this freaking drone in your face, it sees that you're kind of the main problem here. In terms of who's been like actually hurting it. I guess Leonard kind of cut him a bit. But he's no longer had the doom cannon. He tries to like point his doom cannon at you, realizes it's gone. And then simply grabs you by like the top of like the freaking like trash can with both hands, and he's going to try to throw you up into like outside of the freaking Adversite ship.
Okay.
Like as high as like you possibly can. Roll a dexterity check to freaking not get tossed.
Yeah, okay. That's a 2.
Yeah, I'd like to see you go out of the way, Josh, but that would be a lie. He grabs the top of your trash can and hurls you up as hard as you freaking can. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like you get like a solid freaking like 30 feet of air above the freaking ship as you get tossed straight up. And you're just like, oh god. You come crashing down. I'm gonna say you don't crash exactly into the ship. You crash into the sand, which kind of catches some of your fall a bit, but it's still a pretty hard fall.
Just like straight through me, like through the hole that we cut.
Yeah, through the hole, and you just like threw like yeah, you got tossed into the air and you fell into the sand nearby. It was a pretty freaking like large. It seems like he wants you to get out of here. Pretty much is what he's trying to tell you.
Okay, thanks.
However, you take some damage, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's fine.
You take 11 damage.
Okay.
As you just get tossed.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, wait.
Okay.
-2. Does my armor help me at all?
Your armor does help you, yes.
Sweet.
Nice. Okay.
So low. Alright, you guys are up. What do you want to do? This thing's just freaking tossing you guys.
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Are you holding up like crab hands?
What do I do?
I want to grab his.
How much damage is this thing taking?
27.
Okay.
I want to grab his doom
I thought
cannon.
his doom cannon was built into his arm.
It was.
Yeah, you should grab that thing.
I want to grab his doom cannon from
And do double doom cannon.
No.
You grab the doom cannon.
We don't have any power.
I know. Do we have a micro USB charger? Shit.
Whoa.
Sorry, my headphones are dying.
I wanna snip.
Oh, what? You literally like in game you have no more power left.
I mean, yeah, in game we have no more power, but I also have no power in my headphones. Hang on a sec. Sorry, you guys take your turns first.
Okay,
Sure,
so we'll go
we
with
have
Leonard first.
Snips.
Leonard, you just saw Josh get literally thrown just completely
Alright,
out
that's
of
13.
Alright, you freaking cut into this thing.
Sick.
Roll for your damage.
2d6, baby. Let's get some penetrations going on. That is
That's
not
5.
penetrations. That's 5 damage.
Wait, you powered up your energy weapon, didn't you?
That's
Oh, is it for the rest of combat?
It's for the next 30 seconds, like 5 rounds, so it should deal 2d10.
Oh, okay. So you got a.
Man.
So you're rolling d10s.
Yeah.
I rolled that for my last attack.
Do you remember how much damage you took the last attack? You took 10. That's fine. That's average for d10s.
Trait.
That's average for d10s.
16.
2d10 roughly. So that's 16 plus. So that's 22 damage that Leonard just dealt to this guy.
It's like right now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See, that's like much more significant than the attacks you guys have been doing so far. Like so far, it's been kind of ignoring you, but then you just like hack into his side, and it gets like a deep freaking cut. You see like a lot of like freaking like yellowish, greenish goop like oozing out of that cut, and the Adversite kind of recoils back. How much damage did the Adversite take? It's like 50 something.
Well, Leonard's dealt it 32 single-handedly.
All right, I think it's taking like 25 or 27.
He's at
Carrying
49
the
now.
party.
All right, 49 damage taken. Yeah, the Adversite's looking a little bit more unhappy with the state of things.
So I'm gonna use my plasma cutter because it's still overcharged, and I'm gonna attack. Yeah.
Hang on a sec, guys. Sorry.
Oh, it's playing through the
I know.
speakers. Damn it.
This is problem.
So I got an 18. Once you're ready.
Alright, I'm gonna grab out this guy. It's holding from freaking Leonard flow.
Is it when it's powered? Is it two?
It's 2d10.
2d10s?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can take my d10.
So when I use a power to power it up, it lasts for the rest of combat?
Well, 30 seconds or so.
It's like 5 rounds.
I got
That's
8.
fine. That's usually how long combat
Wait, do I add the 2 to my damage rolls too, or no?
Yes.
Yeah, for whatever, yeah, it adds your damage rolls as well.
So
What
12.
do you get to?
Shit's already fucked, man. The audio on this episode's already fucked.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean,
I gotta remember to
Well,
charge my headphones next time.
You can get something.
Oh wait, yeah, stupid.
You can get something.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. This is terrible.
alright, so you hit the thing for another 12 damage?
Yeah.
Alright, that's a total of 61 damage this thing's taken. It's looking pretty haggard at this point now into the fierce blows you guys have dealt to this thing. It is now its turn, I believe. That's Norman's guys go.
Yeah, I mean, I could do something, right?
Oh, it's true. You could like get up. You're kind of like on the outside right now. You can unbury yourself in the sand a bit.
Yeah. So I do that.
All right. You kind of like roll yourself over back to the edge of this freaking like hole, and you see your friends fighting a thing. What do you want to do?
Like fire the laser cannon on him.
Roll to fire the laser cannon.
That is an 11.
You successfully fire the laser cannon. Roll for damage.
Jesus.
Where's my d10s?
Praise Jesus.
Alright, so that's 10 damage.
Alright, this thing's taking 71 as you freaking fire into it.
This boy has a lot of health. He's a big boy. Adversite warriors are big boys.
And then Norman can do something.
Hang on a sec, I'm fixing.
We're dealing with audio.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to do that.
I'm sorry. Watch. See, now you can't even tell. I'm wearing headphones on stream. Like, barely. Anyways.
Those look really funny.
Hang on a second.
There you go.
Okay, much better. Alright, close enough. So, this is so bad. I want to pick up the Doom Cannon from the ground.
Sure, you pick it up.
And pull the power cell out of it.
So you try to pull the power cell out of the Doom Cannon.
I can hear through your headphones.
Roll this is just a pure d20, literally just like a luck check.
9.
Unfortunately, like, today is not your day. You try to search for a power cell, but this Doom Cannon's power is just drawn directly from the Adversite itself and has no inbuilt power.
Rough. Real rough.
Yeah.
Is that your turn?
Is that my turn? Yeah, right?
Yeah,
It's like
your turn, I'm sorry.
No!
Alright, the Adversite, it's not super happy about how much damage it's taken recently, especially from, you guys, and it's going to attempt to jump through the top of the tunnel. They won't try to stop it from jumping.
Yeah, so like you're engaged in combat with it, and you're engaged in combat with it, and you are close to it, kind of.
Yeah, I'm right next to its fallen arm.
I mean, you're trying to it's fallen Doom Cannon, not like the whole arm. It's just missing the cannon itself. Yeah. But yeah, you guys. I guess 2 of you are engaged with it. It's gonna try and jump out of the top of this freaking ship. Do you guys want to try and stop it?
Yeah.
It will probably attack you if you do.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, so Otto, you rush forward to freaking press this thing such that it can't escape. It's going to try to freaking toss you as hard as it can into the edge of the room. Roll a freaking dexterity check to get out of the way so you don't get freaking tossed.
I use that?
No, just you. That was for attacking, so this is different.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got a 6. Modified 6.
The rolls are not with us tonight.
Oh.
It unfortunately got a 22 overall.
Yikes.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
So it is going to deal you a rock solid. Good news is you only took 9 damage.
Nice.
The bad news is it is going to jump through the top of this thing. Leonard, you're in combat with this, so I'm going to say you can make a slash at it as it tries to jump. Though. So roll to attack.
All right, that's a 16.
All right, you do hack at its back as it jumps away. Just roll for damage.
Get it, Leonard.
Fucking get it.
Go style, boy.
So 10.
All right, 10 damage. This thing's taking 81. It lands on the top of the sands near Josh. And I believe it is your guys' turn. What would you like to do?
So actually, I was like peering through the hole.
Yeah.
Is there any way that I can like intercept it while it's?
Just
you're gonna try to like whap it down?
Yeah.
Just like bash it.
Make an opposed strength check, Josh.
Holy shit. Yeah, 7. No, wait, I have +1 strength, so 8.
Not gonna lie to you, it got a freaking 12. You tried to freaking stop it, but it just like jumped straight freaking through you. You kind of got knocked onto your back a little bit. For your freaking trouble, you took 5 damage as this thing jumped like past you and knocked you down pretty halfway.
I take my hat and I attempt to throw it onto its face to obscure its vision.
Alright, odd job. Let's see how that works out for you.
16?
You successfully toss your hat onto its head, and it somehow sort of like obscures its vision for like a second, but it just moves the hat.
But during that time,
I throw my hat at it, and then during that time, I come up and punch it in the butt with my scrap weapon.
Alright, roll 2 butt punch.
Come on. Stupid.
I'm gonna say you get a +2 bonus for this whole.
Oh, sick. Well, it's a modified 3, so.
What's that modified? Did you roll a natural 1?
yeah.
No.
That's automatic failure.
I got a -2, +2. So it's a modified 3.
Roll a 1 though.
No.
No, I rolled a 3.
Oh, okay, you're fine. Yeah, I was gonna say you're, maybe hitting Josh, but you're okay. Yeah, you try to butt punch this thing, but
oh. The
No.
Wi-Fi's
Oh, no.
down.
I can hear him just fine.
rest in peace.
So hopefully the stream's still up.
I mean, I can hear him fine. So.
My Wi-Fi went
You
down.
guys are just like a giant frozen image,
Oh, we are?
It's a good.
Oh,
it's a good image and all,
No, if the Wi-Fi went down, the IV cam went down. So.
but then somehow the audio
So
still
we're
comes
frozen?
through.
Okay.
No, I mean, it's just the IV cam it's based Wi-Fi based. It's an IP camera.
Oh, okay.
So if there's no Wi-Fi, then it's not. Yeah, it's not gonna work. But we're still.
Oh, no,
cruising.
Chapel went offline.
Oh shit! No! It's because my iPad is connected to the internet.
Oh, okay. That's true.
We're still connected. I'm still talking to
The
Angel.
only problem is if the Wi-Fi's down, I have to restart the
Yeah.
router to get it back up.
We're almost with the shit. Oh god! Except you guys can't hear him.
We can't hear.
Rest in peace.
It's fine. Hopefully it'll just come back up. I mean, it says that I'm connected.
My phone's still connected. This is rough.
It is rough. It's a
What
rough
happened?
stream, but it's life.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it just dropped for a second. Okay, we're back. We're good. We're good, boys.
Okay, I might refresh the call. If that's cool with you guys, in order to get like video again.
Yes.
See if that works.
Yeah, I gotta go fix the call now, though.
Yeah, everyone had to rejoin, so.
So I'm gonna lie to you, that totally didn't work, but it's cool. I have audio.
Yeah.
So we're last.
Wait. Where's your video?
His video will come back up.
Okay.
Takes time.
Did you guys see the video?
There he goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are frozen, but cool.
Well, that's okay. It's like this.
So where last we left off, there was an Adversite warrior who jumped right next to Josh, and Norman tried to do something but failed.
Yep. As it. Yeah.
You said
All right. So the rest of you guys, your turn. What do you want to do? Tell me.
Auto and.
Oh, my
Yeah.
turn.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so I guess we'll just go left or right. Yeah, makes it easier.
So Leonard.
No.
No.
So since you just went,
Oh, now it's your turn.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll stand up after being knocked on my ass again by this giant
Yeah.
bully.
Yeah, I think it's a giant bully.
And I'm gonna shoot it again.
You're right next to it, so it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
This is your last shot, right?
Roll two point blank, shoot this thing right in the gut.
7?
I thought it was 1.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. This thing has 8 freaking defense.
Ouch. That's a ouch me, dog.
You attempt to steady your rifle, however, it bats it to the side and the shot goes wild. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Auto / freaking style boy, what do you want to do?
Yikes. for me,
I
dog.
don't know how I can get up there to do anything because I don't have any long range.
I mean,
I do
Yeah,
have
I mean,
my
yeah.
my extendo legs, but how high is the roof from?
alright, I'm gonna say with 1 power, you could extendo your legs really quickly and do a crazy jump.
Yeah, we can't
That's
do
gonna cost
that.
you
We
a
got no power.
Alright, in that case, the best you can do is if you have any ranged weapons, you can take pot shots, but the thing is gonna have cover.
We have infinite power.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're on the Wi-Fi anyway.
Reese.
All right. Also, I'm gonna say freaking auto that you can choose to generate power by drawing into your own personal reserves of power, which you use to freaking function as a bot. You're gonna take 2d6 damage, but you can scrounge up the 1 power you need.
Ouch.
Oof.
Oh, so it's only Josh in there, yeah?
What's up?
Josh is the only one.
Well, no,
there.
you punched it in the butt, so you're up there.
Yep. Man, I got
So yeah, Norman.
tomorrow.
Should I do it? No, I'm at 14. I can't do 2d6. Well, I mean, no.
You could, yes.
Should I do it for the team? I'm gonna do it.
Alright, do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Risk it for the
All right.
biscuit. Trying to get off the
Entering
Wait, so what are you
into
trying
your
to do?
freaking.
I'm gonna extendo myself up and then try to use my arc.
Alright.
Yeah, so essentially he's doing a rapid extension, such that like his extended legs like jump him, like it like makes him leap up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
So, because your extended legs like aren't long enough normally to get you up, but if you just deploy them rapidly, they can like throw you up in the air.
Put all my power into it. So 2d6 damage.
Yeah. So you use your personal reserve power.
Wait, no, he would roll that.
Trait.
Oh, you do it?
Yeah, you can roll if you want to. Yeah, I mean either
Okay, well then we're
AJ,
taking
you should roll
that.
it. You should roll it, AJ.
You should roll it, please. Please.
All right, sure. I'll roll. I rolled a 2, and I rolled a 6. That pierces. 8 damage. 9 damage total.
Okay, that's
Better than 12 piercing.
Yeah, he rolled 2 6s on his.
Oh, dude, that would have definitely killed you. That's bad.
So 9.
Yeah, you did
Yes,
9 damage.
your circus got pretty fried by this maneuver.
Okay.
Alright, I'm at 5.
Cool.
And then I'm going to attack it.
Roll to attack.
Eh.
Oh, wait, wrong one?
No, that was it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It only got 8 defense.
So 10.
10.
I rolled a 10. I hit it. Well,
Yeah,
it's
you
a
freaking
12.
got into it.
I roll damage.
Cool.
Yep. Yep, that's fine.
This one.
Oh.
Or just roll that twice.
So 3 and 3. So
6.
6. Damn.
Well, wait, you get plus 2
Alright,
damage.
Oh, yeah, so
Oh, and
10.
What? Yeah.
So this thing's
8.
taking.
Well,
So this thing's taking 89 damage.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's looking sad.
Oh,
It's only looking
it's not-
sad.
It's not dead, but it's looking sad.
Leonard,
now
run up and
who's-
snipper clips this bitch.
Yeah, snipper clip his ass.
Can I just have that go into his leg or something? Make him prone?
You want to like freaking
It
like
is
jam
time
like your
to snipper clip this man's
welder
ass.
into his leg?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll say you freaking weld into his leg and it freaking like kind of like stumbles backwards. His leg is now seriously damaged.
Sweet. Sick.
Okay, how the question is, how the fuck do I get up?
Glad I got that out of the way. Randomly rolled a 1.
I get up somehow.
Yeah, dude, you got arms, man. You're good. You're good at climbing.
Climb that shit.
Rolling. Good. Glad you
All
got
right.
that out of the way.
Yeah, jeez, who's
So
that shit?
you quote unquote climb that shit.
I climb that shit, and then I snipper clips his ass.
All right, I'm gonna have to ask for a dexterity check to climb that shit.
Dex check first.
Wait, he's just trying to get out. Oh, yeah, I guess.
That is
Well,
a 12 to climb that shit.
You successfully climbed that shit. Okay. Now roll your snipper clips.
That is a 10.
10.
All right, that does succeed.
That does succeed. So roll 2d10.
Yep.
Magoosh.
7.
7 damage.
7. All right, so this thing's taking. You're trying to tell me, like 96 damage.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It is not dead.
Oh god.
I was messing with you guys when I said this freaking warrior was freaking mean. Yeah, so it's its turn. It's going to pick up Josh and use Josh as sort of like a kind of a oddly shaped baseball bat, and it's going to try to bat freaking Otto and Josh back down into the ship. So the first thing we're gonna do is Josh, make a dexterity roll to not get used as baseball bat.
Alright, baby, let's go! 11.
It got an 18 overall.
Shit.
All right, Josh, you are now a baseball bat.
Shit.
He swings, makes an attack roll into Otto. Otto, make a defense roll to not get hit by Josh.
12 plus 2, 14.
You got an 18 overall. 18 just base. It does unfortunately hit you. I'm sorry. You guys both take 2d6 damage, piercing, and he throws you and he drops Josh into the hole. So you guys are both now in the ship again, as he's trying to bat you guys backwards. Josh, you take 5 damage minus whatever your DR is.
God. I didn't reduce my damage. Oh yeah, I did.
Otto, you take 4 damage.
Shit.
I'm still alive.
Oh my God!
Still kicking.
How much
Okay.
health do you have?
I have 1.
Alright, and the large Adversite begins kind of scrambling backwards a bit, kind of away from the mouth of this freaking ship, trying to put a little bit of distance between itself and the ship.
Wait, I'm still next to him.
Yeah, so you're close. It's not like moving it's not
Okay.
turning tail and running. It's just backing up.
He's just making sure that if these guys pop out of the hole, it won't.
They kind of poke him from the edge of the hole, essentially. He's backing up a bit.
Okay, so I fuck it. I'll stay on him and kick him. I'm not gonna kick him because I don't have legs, but I hit him with my
roll to kick him or hit him somehow.
Woo! 16.
All right, you successfully smack the dude.
Thank God. Yeah. Okay, so that's 11 damage.
Yeah.
All right, this thing's taken 107 damage. What are you trying to tell me?
Absolutely.
I'm sorry to tell you, this thing is still.
How bad does it
however,
look?
it looks grievously wounded. It's bleeding from numerous wounds. Freaking yellowish goop just oozes from various locations on this thing's body. It's definitely not looking like it's ignoring the damage it's taken. It looks unhappy. So now it is Leonard's turn. You guys, people who are in the ship, you can go as well and do things.
We're wrapping up soon, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not live.
We're not live? Because I think it's your phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're good.
Lit, that's 15.
Alright, you successfully hit this thing. Leonard, roll for damage.
And 2d10 still.
God.
10 damage.
Alright.
Okay.
Leonard, this thing, it attempts to freaking, he's trying to backpedal, alright? It's trying to, put some distance, but you freaking leap forward and you stab it directly in the freaking chest with your scissors. And, the fight goes out of this thing, it freaking crumples to the ground. As it freaking crumples to the ground, you hear a whirring and kind of a buzzing sound growing louder and louder. What do you guys do?
Shit.
Where's it coming from?
It's coming from the fallen Adversite warrior.
I'm going to fucking run.
No, I finish him off.
Alright, Norman, you
I attempt
finish
to
him off?
brutalize the body. Yes, I finish him off.
As the whirring gets louder and louder, this thing explodes. In a
Yikes.
fiery explosion. Norman, you just take damage. You were trying to freaking smash this thing in the face. Leonard, for bailing, you can make a dexterity check to see if you can get away.
That's a 6.
Alright.
2, 4.
Unfortunately, you were caught in the blast as well. Norman, you take 10 damage. Leonard, you take freaking 9.
I'm at -5.
That is the second time I've taken damage.
I'm dead.
This entire time.
Whoa, we're not dead. No one's dead. You're good.
You're at -5.
The Adversite warrior has fallen.
Warrior. Oh.
Power of SnipperClips.
Does this ship
What's
have
up?
advanced?
Rename me SnipperClips. My name is now SnipperClips.
Alright, you are now SnipperClips. Alright, I understand that people,
I
kind of
declare-
end the stream and stuff soon,
declare
but I can kind of go over.
My name is now SnipperClips.
Yeah, let's go over, what happens or what there is on the ship and what we
Alright.
Give us a cliffhanger.
End
Give
of
us a
session, the cliffhanger. Alright, you guys, you exploring the ship, it looks like there is a large quantity of Adversite weaponry. Kind of adjoining the ship. This thing was originally designed to carry troops. You think you can scrounge a lot of the Adversite bodies for scrap? The one that exploded, not so much, but the other ones that died in the cryo tubes, you think you can use some of the tech to upgrade yourself? This thing, its warp drive was destroyed irreparably, but luckily for you guys, you recently encountered the freaking warp drive.
Nice.
So you have the warp drive you need to repair this thing, and you think that if you can get this thing unburied and find some fuel, this thing's also unfortunately tapped for fuel. And you can maybe pony up, let's say, freaking like 100 scrap to repair this thing. You can get this thing operational.
We're some ambitious little bots.
Yeah, dude, nothing can kill us.
Alright, you guys have, successfully destroyed the Adversite warrior in, a battle that, no one predicted you guys could have won, especially me.
Fucking SnipperClips.
Okay. You did more than half the damage to that thing by yourself.
Fucking SnipperClips. My name is now SnipperClips.
Sick.
That's cool.
Yeah. Alright, you guys, that was some good work. You guys managed to somehow deal with that thing. That was supposed to be like an unkillable, death monster, but you guys killed it, so good work.
Definitely managing to disable that Doom Cannon.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that was,
That was the play of the century.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, the fact that this thing had to use, its Kung Fu moves instead of, its Doom Cannon definitely hurt it.
Well, that reminds me of, when we were fighting the Necromancer for the helmet.
Yeah. It's you can't kill that thing, but if you just knock off its helmet...
I throw a rock! Pink!
We win!
Yeah,
the fucking
that was
good.
Yeah.
No, not the Garagicon.
Oh, the Garagicon. That was just, hey, let's leave on a ship and fight it with ship combat instead of fucking normal-ass combat.
Personal combat wasn't enough. We need ship combat to kill that thing.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Thanks, stream.
So that was this was, kind of end of, stream 1, or I guess session 1 for the Long Vigil. It seems like, kind of working out some of the kinks, but, kind of got the basis there. You guys now have a ship, an Adversite ship. So that's pretty cool. You just need to freaking patch this thing up and you're going to be good to go.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool.
And you already have a warp drive, which, I didn't expect you to have when you freaking dug this thing up, but you got it.
Yeah.
We're
Cool.
so good.
Yeah.
Alright, so end of session 1 for the Long Vigil. This will be our normal Sunday stream for probably a while.
Yeah. This will be an ongoing campaign, hopefully, and yeah.
Do you want to support us on Patreon?
No,
we don't have a Patreon,
one, so sucks.
But
if you do want to support us, you can give us bits.
Or subscribe.
Yeah, or I'll put up an Amazon wishlist.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay. That'd be cool.
It's just going to be board games on the stream, so it's not going to be related to this at all. So, thanks for DMing, AJ. You did great.
Thanks.
Awesome job.
As always.
And thank you for dealing with our, technical issues, and thank you, stream. Jeez.
Yeah, hopefully we weren't muted for too long. We'll just say, oh yeah, guys, the VOD got muted.
Oh yeah,
for some reason we're playing some,
epic music and VOD got muted. Music,
yeah.
Except you can still hear it.
Yeah. I'm sorry that the session 1 was a little bit combat heavy. I didn't intend it to be quite so combat heavy.
No, I mean we're the ones who jumped in. It was fine. It was interesting combat. So
it's I definitely didn't expect you guys to fight the Adversite warrior. That was like, oh boy, this is gonna be something.
Well, we skipped the snake dude or the lizard dude, so that
it's true. You skipped the lizard guy. Those guys also. I mean, this is something you guys know. So this isn't spoils. One fuel source is that lizard's blood can be used as fuel because it's a methane-based life form. So one source of fuel is you guys can hunt lizards.
Yeah, we gotta go hunt some fucking lizards.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can actually get something.
A living lizard.
It would be nice if we could get a combat robot or something that could actually go fight lizards.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, power per day.
Go wake up Sarge. He's supposed to be able to fight.
Sarge, go fucking hunt down lizards.
If we were to do that, would we switch? I would go from Otto to Sarge, or
we could do that, or we could just potentially.
Well, if we were gonna do something like that, where we actually just sent Sarge out, it would just more be he leaves. He goes.
I mean, either be like an NPC thing where Sarge just like heads out, or like you guys one of you guys take over Sarge and like swap.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, AJ. That was really fun. I was really excited to see where this goes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited too. You guys freaking patch up that ship and travel the stars.
Yep.
Claude's gonna die.
You're what?
That's good stuff.
Claude's gonna die.
Claude will die.
At some point, we'll get there.
It's okay. Eventually, you'll be able to RP in combat situations good enough, but you won't die.
Well, it doesn't help when you forget the plan.
That was hilarious when Norman just walked in and they attempted to threaten the giant cyborg. I let you roll
robot,
it, but
man. The plan is stored in your hard drives.
Like, you were like a freaking, like, a smallish, like, freaking, like, dude on a little jump jet. And there's, like, this, like, 8-foot-tall ogre of a warrior who's, like, built to destroy. And he's just like, no, I don't accept your freaking intimidation.
Alright, yeah. Good night, sweet chat. We'll talk to you later, okay, guys?
Alright, night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Zoop.